So we should be back. Hopefully he really admires the fact that I don't give a shit. Thanks, Wes.
No, and I think it shows in your body of work, and I think
Yeah,
that's really impressive. Like it really shows how little you care
how
about the
little.
people who come to look to you for entertainment, and you're showing them that like basically you could give a fuck whether they can watch it or listen or not. Like
You
if they
could
get
give an
something, they get
absolute.
something. You're like, if this was a sitcom, if this was a sitcom, you'd be a short order cook, and people would order, and maybe they'd get food, and maybe they wouldn't, and it would just be
Mhm.
like, oh, that Batsby, you know what I mean? That would be
Like
you.
maybe you'd get a grilled cheese sandwich, or maybe you'd get a delicious prime rib dinner. You just never know.
It doesn't, and it doesn't. You just never know what you're gonna get, but you go there anyway because you love the fun conversation. It
Oh.
sounds like a CBS sitcom, like from the mid '90s.
So fucking stupid. Oh, there we go.
I'll,
All right, we're back on track. I'm gonna give this another shot with playing this goddamn movie because we have like exciting things that we want to do in the future. And you would think maybe the more technologically advanced of us would host the are you nervous? You would
you
think
mean
the
that I should be host? That I should be? What are you
well, I
talking
mean
about?
you are more technologically advanced. Are you not?
I'm far more. Yes, but I was doing an interview with someone, so I'm sorry that I
Mm,
had to be late, and I thought you would already be started, but instead I showed up and you're just like sitting here waiting for me with the fucking party hat on, asking me
ugh.
where's the cake and ice cream. I thought you were getting the cake and ice cream. Now there's a thing, and now we're all thrown off, and people are upset and they're waiting, and all they hear me is yelling at you. And I mean, who wants to hear
that's
that other than like?
that's how all our conversations go. I'm they're telling me there's a lag again. Um, I really wanted
I'm
to
really
do
proud of you.
this on a live stream. Um, we may not be able to do it on a live stream. We may have to do it
So
just you.
I say you just give the link to the movie and have them watch it
Have
because,
them watch the movie
well,
and
like
we'll
they
all
should
come back
know
and
that
talk about it.
we'll all come back. It's like book club, and we'll all come back and we'll sit around and we'll discuss it. There'll be a conch shell. You have to be holding the conch in order to say your part. But I know I really think people should watch this movie because the announcement, the plan is that we will start making content with Perry Caravello, who is the star of this movie. So pretty excited about that and for that.
Um, yeah, I think it's not gonna. We're used to it. Remember, we listen to Lauren calls. They're pretty used to this crap. I love you guys so much. I
Yeah,
really do. You put up with my shit. Um, well, I'm not sure what
this
you
has
want
been
to do.
another Ven Media production.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. No, these people don't want to hear me. I mean, like I'll hop off and you can do your lyrical tap dance or whatever it is that you're going to do and keep the people entertained. But they don't want to hear me just be mean to you. I'm
Oh,
gonna go
they'd probably
do
love listening to you be mean to me. So I
no,
closed
because then
the.
people will think I'm actually a mean person.
No, Wes is not a mean person, but he does enjoy being mean to me for some reason.
That's not true. I want you to shut your fucking mouth and stop making shit up.
So,
Right? Like why do I constantly have to tell you to shut your fucking mouth? I don't think a friend should constantly have to tell a friend to shut the fuck up. Like just shut the fuck up.
if I
Babsy, shut the fuck up. Never. You just go and go and go. I want to listen to Lauren talk, not you talk
yeah,
about Lauren.
yeah, okay.
I make comment after comment on sock account after sock account, and all you do is fucking discount what I say. But please, shut the fuck up.
You won't even shut the fuck up on your own fucking channel with your own fucking videos that you make.
Right? Like, how dare you?
I guess I guess what we're gonna end up doing is having a conversation, and everybody can enjoy our conversation.
No one wants to hear. I'm telling you, no one wants to hear that.
I think
And I
everybody
really think that No, you should queue up a Lauren. I'll hop off. You should queue up a Lauren call and do a Lauren call.
Why
That'll be
don't
great.
why
Everyone
don't
would love that.
why don't you want to talk to me? Is it that you don't want everybody to
Oh,
know that we know each other?
I'm gonna be honest. I've got buddies waiting for me to do some karaoke, and I'm not gonna get discovered sitting around my house fucking with YouTube videos.
Watching this very it is a little bit embarrassing, and I'm gonna be honest. Um, honestly, because I was thinking, I mean, your videos, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. Your videos are great, and you put a lot of time, and you put a lot of thought, and you put a lot of effort into um
Well,
into
let's
your
be fair. In
videos.
comparison to you, yes.
Well,
In comparison to your streams and videos, yes, I do. Thank you. I
you
appreciate that.
and it really and I'm being dead serious. It's not that I don't give a fuck. It's just sort of it's not that I don't. First of all, I got janky ass equipment. I saved up to buy what I have now, which is not great. Um, but I just like to like run my mouth and shit. I don't like to sit in front of the
No, no,
computer
I
and
get it.
edit and do all this shit. But and I was a
Hey, let's.
little, I was sort of a little embarrassed because I knew this shit was gonna happen. But
Let's be honest.
Winnie City Heat. Once I closed out the program we were gonna use to watch the video, the buffering stopped. So
Yeah, just another point. So you fucked up. That's fine. Let's be honest though. I reached out to you in early December and was asking you to collaborate. If you remember,
that's
I really liked your stuff and
that's
wanted to
true. And
collaborate. So
we had such a great idea. That conversation was so
I mean that conversation that was it. I mean, like it never needs to be made now. It was made. It would never come out as perfect as it did in that call.
Can I tell everybody our idea about
No, I don't think it would. I think it would be so stupid about that phone call.
no, about our idea? Or did
You gotta be more specific.
more
Please be more
Pacific?
specific than
Okay,
yeah, more specific.
we were gonna make the TV show, and it was gonna go like 13 seasons, and we were gonna have the spin-off, and it was based
What?
on Lauren's comment
What?
about the Crip that knew pedophiles, knew who was a pedophile.
He was a blood. He was a blood the
Oh,
first time. Let's
he was a blood.
get the
Okay.
lore right.
And we created this whole concept of Lauren Lauren would go out hunting pedophiles with his partner, Little Scrappy.
Little Scrappy, who is one of the last known bloods that can sniff out pedophiles, which most people don't know. That's why bloods got their name. They're like bloodhounds for sniffing out dangerous pedophiles. And so, yeah, they travel around in a van, no matter where they are, international, wherever. The van just gets there, and Lauren is hunting down predators that got away from various TCAP stings. It's his retribution. It's like a My Name Is Earl type story. He scratches each one off his list. He's also been proven innocent on the show as well, because I mean it's just a matter of time.
Well, because he never meant to do it.
He
That's
never
a
meant to do
whole
it. He never
episode in
meant to do
itself.
it.
It's like
Yeah, it's one of those prequel episodes that happens like season 4.
right.
You're waiting for the conclusion of what happened at the end of season 3. You're all on the edge of your seat. You know, did Lauren die? Did Ramona marry him? Like what actually happens? And then it starts off with
I
some
forgot
prequel bullshit.
I forgot we were gonna have Ramona in it.
Hey, so Baspy, if we ever go to a network to do like a presentation of what our show is, you can't come with me because you can't even talk about it without.
I know. I was like, my stomach was
They're like,
hurting.
and this is the best part.
My name is
Yeah.
Lauren. Somebody said my name is Lauren.
My name is Lauren.
So, and we were gonna have a dog in it, and the dog, like the twist is, the dog has no sense of smell.
Yeah, but Lauren's such a good guy that he keeps his dog around that can't smell. He's a bomb sniffing dog that lost his sense of smell, but Lauren's such a caring pet owner that the dog comes and he gets treated better than the black guy. So like he gets to sit in the front seat while the black guy's like curled up in a ball on a blanket in the back. And Lauren doesn't realize he's racist in the show, but he's very racist.
And we were gonna have
Very
him
racist.
we were gonna have him go to all these destinations. Like he was gonna go to Bangkok and
Yeah,
Thailand.
and he's always, and wherever he goes, he finds whoever he's looking for with just complete ease because he's Lorne. He's the most Mary Sue of all heroes. Like everything just comes easy to him. He's also like a world-renowned recording artist, but he's trying to.
Oh yeah, that's
All the
right.
money goes to St. Jude's, every
I
fucking penny,
forgot
because
about that.
it's important to Lauren that St. Jude's gets that sweet cash, and he doesn't want the money or the fame. He just wants to entertain, and
He's
I really think that's what Lauren's mission always was to
he's
entertain.
he's touring and fighting pedophiles and with his partner Lil Scrappy. But Lil Scrappy isn't
No,
allowed to
Scrappy.
like be out in public with him.
Well, no, you can't be seen with a black walking around. Oh,
Right.
I understand, Mr. Armstrong. That makes a lot of sense. Gee, wow, Mr. Armstrong, you caught yourself another pedophile.
You know it, Lil Scrappy. Oh my god.
Yeah,
And we had written it up to like season 13 and we had even written
yeah,
like the last
it was great.
episode.
Yeah, what happens where you finally figure out who and why Lorne was set up and framed by NBC. Yeah, we had the whole thing because
It
he was
was like
definitely framed.
it was Ramona, wasn't it? Even though she was in love with him. She
It was Ramona, yeah, well, because she wanted him all for himself, and she was able to see that if she didn't keep Lorne down, he would be this internationally touring star. How would Ramona ever get him down on her level? She's just I think she's just a mid-level professional. She's not what Lauren deserves, which is like a superstar, like
Oh
a
god.
Christina Aguilera type.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
that was so I was so sad that we like had I was like we could get a green screen. You were going to hire actors. We were
No, well, I had actors because I wanted to put this together. I wanted to put together a trailer, and I had actors picked out for every role. And like everyone was going to look, like I had a black girl for Ramona. I had everyone picked out, and I was going to pick like this dumpy fat guy to play
Oh
Lorne,
my god.
because that just it would have been hilarious.
I,
But then all the doxing shit happened, and then
yeah.
I didn't really want to do any
Yeah.
CCAP related stuff after New Year's Eve, and so that got shelved. But I mean, I still do think about, like, there's some things I want to update on the Comstock website that I think about, but then I don't do them.
I was really
So
sad about that. That's yet another thing Vince like fucked up. Like that was like almost going to be a reality. That was like Lauren and Lil
what are you talking
Scrappy.
about, Comstock? Oh yeah, no, that would have been
Oh,
great.
yeah, and the
That was
Comstock website.
well, I thought you meant Comstock. Comstock's not real, right? I just want to make sure you're not actually
It's
planning
not
on
real?
going. That is not real. No, that's not real. It got canceled.
Somebody said Lil Scrappy played by
Yeah.
Gary Coleman. And
I
Ramona
mean,
Ramona is Kayla's best friend that was jealous of their love.
yeah, well, I think when I think of Ramona, I think of, if anyone watched Family Matters, and they think of Laura Winslow. That's, for whatever reason, whenever I just, that like '90s TGIF black sass, where it's sassy but not really neck rolling sassy.
Yeah.
It's a TV safe, Midwestern fine black sassy. That's what I think. I just think of Laura Winslow and Steve Urkel's face going, "You got to go home," but like replace lovable Steve Urkel with the old hating pedophile Lauren Armstrong. I really think like you could repackage this as a '90s sitcom, just kind of massage it a little, and it's still a teenage girl next door with the guy next door with this love for her, but instead of being a teenager at her school, he's an aged pedophile. Just think of the comedic hijinks that could ensue.
you you know what? That's funny that you say Laura. That's exactly how I picture Ramona. That's exactly how
Yeah,
I
no,
picture
I
Ramona.
just that
When I'm
sass, that, like I said, that like TV sass.
when I'm fantasizing late at night.
Well, I mean, you write a lot of erotic fan fiction, like more than I think most people do, and I've seen it. And there's a lot of Family Matters. I think it's cool that you like black guys so much, because a lot of your stuff is like Urkel related. I thought you'd be more of an Eddie Winslow guy because you'd want a more sturdy guy, but you really like Urkel.
I love
And
Urkel.
Yeah, I mean, you love
I'm
like a lot of weird love for
uh,
Urkel, unhealthy love. He was a teenager when that show started, and you're very specific about which season Urkel, but like we'll talk about that later.
well, I almost like I sort of like the transition between Steve Urkel and Stefan Urkel. I like him when he's right
Well, I mean,
between there.
who wouldn't go into the transformation chamber and come out as Stefan Urkel if they had the chance? With those designer suits and his lack of glasses, he
That's
didn't look weird at all. He was
so, so
really
stupid.
good. Really
Stefan
good.
Urkel.
Transformation. Well, this is so.
He
Hey, we
doesn't.
could be watching this hilarious movie about a guy getting trolled. Instead, we're talking about Steve
I
Urkel
know.
and transformation games.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go buy a better computer.
Yeah, you should. You know what you should do? Buy another computer, take the transmission out
I'm
of that computer, put it inside of the other computer, and then that'll fix all your
gonna
problems.
take. I'm
It,
gonna.
or it might just be some little thing.
I'm gonna take the internet out of that computer, and I'm gonna put it in this
Put
computer,
it put it to the other computer.
and I'm
It
gonna
might
make
just
it
be
work.
some little thing.
Oh fuck! It was the everything's working fine now. It's just when we try to watch the movie that it
So
gets
everything's good as long as you're not trying to actually do anything with
do
the
the
computer.
thing
Then it's
do the
fine.
thing that you want to fucking do.
Yeah, no, that's great. I hope your phone, if you ever need to use it for an emergency, doesn't behave the same way that your technology doesn't just like doesn't work.
Thanks, buddy.
You're calling 911 and it's like opening up fucking Angry Birds or something.
Yeah. Because my all right, so Kayla has this gaming computer that is amazing, and I believe she built some of this herself. You would think she would help her mother, her mother with it. The computer
No,
credit
I
union
wouldn't think
works
that at
pretty
all.
good with
Not
me.
after the stories. Not after the stories she's told me about you and how you raised her. It doesn't surprise me at all. It surprises me that she still talks to you. Like, and I don't want to put you on blast, but as she called it, a revolving door of men, women, clowns, failed actors, motocross riders, rodeo cowboys, construction workers, and it goes on and on and
Rodeo
on. And
clowns.
like, I don't want to kink shame. I don't want to kink shame, whatever you do, but like, you had kids in that house. How dare you?
I think you meant
This is,
rodeo clowns. God damn it, I can't stop
yeah,
laughing. I hate you so much right
yeah.
now. I,
So,
I hate you.
So no, to get back to your original point, it doesn't surprise me at all that she wouldn't build you a
That she
computer. She
wouldn't
shouldn't
help
do
me.
anything for you.
Ugh.
She shouldn't do anything for you.
Ugh. Jesus Christ.
I hope she's listening. I hope she's listening and she knows I'm on her side.
She's not listening. I made her stop her
She's
stream.
not.
I made her. I'm an asshole. I made her stop her stream so that we could do this, and now we can't even do
Okay,
this.
so yet another reason why she shouldn't help you build shit.
But you know
Hey,
what?
build me a computer so that I can kick you off your own streams whenever I feel like going on. Get off that fucking stream. Your mama's about to go stream.
I
This
very.
your this your this your mama time to shine. How dare you? Like that's how you talk to your daughter? Was that how the conversation went?
I
She's like,
very.
oh, hi, mom, and you're like, hey, get off the stream.
I
But I
made.
thought, get
I made her go
off.
to bed.
She was gonna go out with Maria, and they were
She's
gonna
gonna go
talk
out with
about
Haley and
DJ,
Jesse
and
and Maria.
instead you made her go to bed. They were gonna talk about boys, and Lauren was gonna ask her all about it, and now she can't talk about boys. She won't have any boys to talk about because you kicked her off the live stream.
she, I was tired of her showing everybody it.
Well, she can't help it. I mean, it's been shown to her so many times. She's gonna start showing others.
Ugh. You know, my description for the video is um
No,
enjoy Wes making fun of me for my poor technological skills
no, that's pretty accurate. I thought you was gonna say something about watching a movie because that is a lie.
as
There was no
as
movie watched.
as we watch the movie.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I really am, everybody. I'm so sorry.
I don't think you're as sorry as you should
I
be.
don't
That's
think
the
I
thing. Like I
am.
think you should be offering like a raffle in the chat, or you should be giving something away like, hey, the next, the 50th comment, you guys get to choose next. Actually, like the third next comment can choose Bapsby's next uh, Lauren call that she's going to do.
I think that's a great
So
idea.
get those comments in.
The best comment can choose the
Get
next
those.
video that I won't be able
Yeah,
to
the
make.
best. That yeah. Well, it's going to be a recorded. It's going to be something that she records. So even she can't fuck that up because I mean, like once it gets uploaded, it's uploaded. So yeah, best comment. You get to choose what Bapsy's going to do,
And this
and
is
she's
no
going to
joke.
give it.
Somebody requested, this was in November, like after when I first started, because I started in September. In November, somebody said, "Hey, I wrote this." They wrote like a fan fiction and wanted me to read it and add sound
Oh,
effects and stuff. I'm still editing it.
why is it taking you so long?
Cuz I'm an
Out of
asshole.
curiosity, how long was
Cuz
it?
I'm an asshole.
Oh, okay. No, that's a good reason. I thought there was like another reason, but just because you're an asshole, that works in so many different situations with you too.
That's always my answer. Why
Yeah,
didn't you
like when the
call me
cop
like
pulls
you
you over,
promised?
he goes, "Do you?" The cop says, "Do you know how fast you're going?" You just say, "I'm an asshole."
I'm
And he
an
goes, "You know what?
asshole.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
That's it.
Like, move those beers out of the way. Have yourself a good night."
They open the door and they just clatter onto the pavement.
and you're like, I didn't even mean to do it. And he goes, "Okay, get out of here. Have a good night."
Good night, guys.
I'm not drunk. I swear. You can smell my breath. I'm gonna try if I get pulled over at night again. I'm gonna try. I'm not a good driver at night,
I'm not a good.
and I'm just gonna do. I'm not a good driver at night. I'm not a good driver at night. And if he says, "Where are you headed?" I'm gonna say, "I told my brother I was going to Atlantic
My
City."
other brother.
so, and I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so that might give he might get a kick out of that. And one out of a million chance he's a lornographer. He's gonna let me go.
Oh my god! And
Like,
if you said
right?
to him,
Like if you're getting
"You give
what?
good directions,"
Yeah, right? Like if you're getting robbed by someone and you got your hands up and you're like, fuck this fucking guy, and then he drops like a Lorne comment on you, or he says like robbing you was the cleanest best pleasure, you're gonna think about that guy a little bit better when he leaves, right? You're gonna be like, all right. So he fucking robbed me. My family's standing here crying, and I was completely demasculated. Like I feel like a piece of shit because I couldn't protect them. But that guy watches TCAP, and that's kind of cool.
we have that in
What are the
common.
odds?
It's like we're
You
friends.
have that, yeah, right? Like and when if you ever go to court against that guy, like you can kind of lean over and whisper like, "Hey, who's your favorite predator?" And then you guys have like a little conversation about it.
Have you ever come across someone that has said something to you and you think maybe they're in on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we have one of the companies I consult with. There's a Slack group that we are all in, and there's one room called like the men's room, and it's all the men. I don't know, it's super weird. But someone posted a To Catch a Predator meme. um it was I don't remember the guy, but they it wasn't a meme. They posted a picture of him as a response to something someone else said, and no one got it. But it was my first day, and I didn't want to be like, "Oh shit, you watching To Catch a Predator, son?" So like I just started consulting with them, so I just kind of let it go, and I just remembered it right now. But I wanted to say something about it so bad, but I don't think the first comment you should make about it should be excitement over seeing the use of a attempted child predator in Slack.
You didn't
We're
want to
gonna
just
get
go up and
along
go,
just fine.
"Hi, sir."
Yeah.
Snort.
um, cheeseburger, no pickles. So it was that was the only time. Other than that, no one like I'll mention To Catch a Predator, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, I vaguely remember it," or something. But like no one who's actually like known any of the people.
Yeah, I've tried desperately, like in my real life. I mean, my kids, obviously I force feed them TCAP, so they
Yeah,
they
no,
obviously know. That was part of the
my son.
abuse.
Well, yeah, well, that and many other things that really I think you need to have your come to Jesus moment. But this is not what this stream's about. My son, he's 13, and on the day that Lauren was getting out of jail, he did tell his friends at school he was really excited. And when they asked him why, he said, "My favorite child predator
My
is
favorite.
getting out of jail today." And it was a joke, like it was a complete setup. And And I appreciate that he went through such lengths to make a joke, but at the same time, I'm not trying to get called to the school because my son is talking about his favorite
Because your
pedophile.
son has a
Um,
favorite predator.
he would have like a whole stack of Lorns. There would be like karaoke Lorn. There'd be Lorn cooking. Could you see those? Could you see TCAP trading card? Because there'd be a rookie card, which would be him at the Sting House. That would be the rookie
Oh
card,
my
and
God,
it
what
would
a
have his
great
stats leading
idea.
up to that. It would have his stats leading up to then. Like, so something I never really thought about until we did our Baked Salmon and I did that analysis of the Sting footage, like the 12 years later, was that he was talking a lot about getting out there and how difficult. He lives 60 miles from her. Like, that's 2 gallons of gas or whatever, 2 or 3 gallons of gas in that truck. So like he was really sweating about the possibility of having to drive like 200, a little bit over 200 miles. That's like a tank of gas.
That's not
So
even a
this
tank of
guy was
gas.
so broke. Hey, listen, I said it was a tank of gas, so like now you need to go and be like, well, it's a little bit less than a tank of gas. If you want to add something, but don't just disagree to disagree.
God damn it. I hate you. I hate you so much. Anyway, please
No, is
continue
there
with your
anything else
thought.
that you want to correct me on that like I was slightly off on while we're here?
No, no, sir. No, sir.
No. No, you know what? How about I talk and you look up the fuel tank capacity of that truck,
All
and
right.
then while I'm talking, like 2 minutes later, you tell me, well,
All right.
actually, it only had 180 gallons max,
Challenge
and so you
accepted.
can prove me wrong in 3 minutes.
Challenge accepted. Okay, go ahead.
So it's just crazy to me, like how old he was 38 that day, right? So he's
Hmm.
38 years old, worried that he doesn't have enough money for a full tank of gas that he could potentially rape his 13-year-old sweetheart. And this is all running through his head, and it's all like, yep, things are coming pretty good for Lauren.
I
That's insane to me.
okay, I want to mention because I picked up my phone and I started putting in fuel economy 1999. That's what he had, right, in 99. And Google finished Dodge Ram 1500. So what does that say about
Yeah,
my phone? My phone is listening to
it
me.
says your
It
phone is listening, and it's a Lornographer.
Yeah, it finished
It
for me.
knows.
All right, so
It's
you
did
may
it
be
say
right.
white with gray on the bottom?
You may be right because it says 13 miles per gallon.
Yeah. Okay.
16 city
Okay. So
highways.
how many? And,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we already know he couldn't turn around. There was nowhere to turn
There was
around. So
no
they were
turnaround.
all
That's
straight. There's no. I know. I've been. I haven't told anyone this, but I've been to that same stretch. I wanted to make that drive for a West Most episode that's coming out, and it really is. There's one exit that gets onto the freeway, and then it gets right off on the road to Kayla's house.
I always imagine this big
So
neon sign that's flashing on and off, pointing to the exit that says Kayla's house, Kayla's house.
and then he just wanted to drop by and make sure that she was okay. Can we really talk real quick, because this is something that I didn't think about until I saw the Dupay footage. But I really think if Lorne had a decent defense attorney, that he could that that they would probably be able to get some entrapment thrown in there,
If he
because I always thought that Derek was just what
No, go ahead.
I always thought that Derek was just someone they threw in there to troll Lorne, and it's hilarious because he's jealous of this non-existent 13-year-old boy. But when I was listening to the Michael Dupay chat log, I think it was that chat log, he's saying something like, "Let's just hang out. I don't want to promise anything more than that." I might have the people wrong, but the decoy's like, "No, I had sex with my ex-boyfriend. Like, so she was cool with it." And he's like, "I just want to hang out." And she's like, "I don't want to hang out. I'll just call my ex. He knows how to make me feel." And to me, that's like some gray area, because this guy's trying to back out of saying that he wants to have sex. He's saying he just wants to hang out, and the decoy's saying, "Well, then I'm gonna call my ex, who will give me
Yeah.
that sex that I want." And someone like Lorne, or they're able to, because acted as a decoy when I was catching those married men coming to pick up prostitutes. And you're able to figure out, like you're able to figure out what motivates these people very early on from the way they interact. So if you're able to recognize that someone like Lauren is insanely jealous, making up a fake boyfriend and then casually dropping his name here and there, I really do believe that in Lauren's heart of hearts, he thought if he didn't go there that weekend when her parents weren't there, then Jesse and Maria and Derek were going to show up and she was going to lose her virginity to him. And that drove him crazy to think about if he wasn't there, that Derek would be. So I kind of feel like Derek was used just to keep that thought in Lauren's mind that there is someone else. There is another player in this game who's trying to get your girl. So I wonder how much of that really drove Lauren to drive to Bowling Green. See what I did there?
Yeah, that's a really good. I never thought of that, but that's a really good point. I always, honestly, I always thought they were fucking with Lauren. Like the decoy was just getting a little bit back because she had to sit there and look at it every fucking night and was just
Yeah.
having some
Well,
fun.
and so yeah, no, go on. I was going to cut you off while you were making your point. Please.
But and I never, I mean, I never thought of that, but that's a really good point because everybody gets the gist of Lauren. I mean, we all learned about Lauren probably the same way the decoy did, and if everyone's
Yeah.
experience was like mine, you caught on pretty quickly how insecure he was, and that probably was
Well,
a
yeah.
good way to get him to show up.
Well, and just, I mean, just not only just the jealousy, like when she first started talking about Derek, how jealous, how angry he got about it. So just pepper his name in there. It was never really a huge threat, but I'm sure Lauren. I'm thinking, and I almost wish it would have happened that he had told her at one point, "I'm not going to go," because I'd be so curious if she would say, "Well, I'll just have my friends come over." Because that would have pushed Lauren to go anyway. Even if she would have said that at all, that would have definitely forced Lauren to go because there was no way he was going to lose to this kid. Like he wasn't going to lose his girl. And I saw the same thing, even though it wasn't perverted justice. It was a tetrad core with that second one.
Yeah.
I listened to it and then I messaged Baked Salmon. I was like, hey, I kind of want to do something about not that I'm questioning that any of these guys were guilty because they all showed up to do awful horrible thing, but maybe the tactics that were used maybe that's why someone like the doctor or Maurice Volan was able to not get as harsh of a sentence because he probably hired a good attorney,
Oh yeah.
and he didn't really talk either. If you're able to hire a good attorney, they're able to see things like that where maybe you wanted to back off a little bit, but they pushed forward, and you can say that's entrapment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fact. If Lauren had had a good attorney, it would have turned out a lot better for him. I mean, that's just a fact. If you have money to pay for an attorney, a good attorney,
Yeah,
I mean, I think this attorney he had actually he represented Dustin McFetridge too. So I think he's like representing all these fools. I don't think
yeah,
I'm
yeah. You have 12 cases and 12 people who you probably feel like should be in jail. So how hard are you really going to work? Like unless this guy was like a big opponent of To Catch a Predator or the tactics that they were using, as far as he knows, he has 12 guys to represent who showed up on national TV, have chat logs that have been shown, and they were trying to have sex with a child. Like, hey, best case scenario, you get this, you write this shit off, you take a plea, you don't, so that like as quietly as possible, you need to go away and just take what they give you. And because Lawrence dumbass brought that camera with him, he was looking at a much,
the camera,
excuse me, a much with the tape on the back. And,
the
and I
tape.
still I still maintain that Lauren would know enough about pawn shops to know that they're not going to take a camera with tape on the back. Things need to be in their original condition for a pawn shop to want to take it.
Oh, he would know exactly what a pawn shop would take. He was no virgin to
Yeah,
pawn
he's
shops.
very experienced. He was probably dreaming of selling those Nazi coins at the pawn shop and getting $1,000 a piece or something while he
The
walked
ones
out of there counting his cash. And he was going to buy a monocle. The first thing he would buy would be a fucking monocle because that's the only thing missing from Lawrence look.
he'd be like Mr. Peanut.
He would. He'd be walking around with a monocle, swinging a pocket watch, counting his cash.
Hey,
Because that's what Lauren.
Jordan Comedy wants to know if you've gotten a haircut yet.
No, and I still look gay. So, if that's what you guys aren't into, I'm sorry. I'm not going to change that. It's just who I am.
You look gay and you need a haircut, which are two diametrically
Yeah.
opposed things, I believe. Looking gay and needing a haircut.
Well, maybe. Yeah, right. Like, because normally, like, the stereotype is that gay men are very neat and they care a lot about their appearance. So, like, which one was it? And then he also told me he wasn't attracted to me, which, like, I never even asked. But he wanted to let me know
That one
that we
really
would not
hurt
be having
you,
sex.
Mr. Penis. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat
Mr.
too.
Peanuts? Oh, I like
Mr.
that.
Penis.
I like that a lot.
Like Mr.
Yeah, Planners, Mr.
Planner's
Peanuts.
Penis.
That's great. Yeah, yeah. Put some of those in your mouth. Could you? Oh, I bet we could convince Lauren that that's a new thing that they want to do.
Oh
They're
my
gonna. It's
God.
a joke for April Fool's Day.
Oh,
That'd be
that
great,
that that could be part
Mr. Peanuts.
my diabolical plan was going to be, but I think I don't want to talk about it too much, but I think somebody kind of beat me to it. But I had for a
Can I
minute
just say, I hope your diabolical plan
go ahead.
doesn't include anything technical or like streaming anything. I hope your plan is very low tech, like
It was very low
two
tech. I was
cans,
gonna pick up a
two
phone
soup cans, and a piece of string.
and yeah, and dial a number and talk to someone on the phone and convince them that
Uh-huh.
I worked for a state agency that that was
Oh,
gonna
okay, I remember this.
what was it called? Mainly law abiding or
Mainly law abiding for yeah, go ahead. I'll let you explain it poorly. I mean, I'll let you explain it.
thank you. I work for the state
Yeah,
agency
no.
called
Yeah.
Mainly Law Abiding, and I'm
What's
I've
it for?
found that Mr. Armstrong is
Hold
approved
on,
for
hold on,
state aid.
Bats.
Yeah.
What is the program for? You need to explain why it's called mainly law abiding
Well,
and who it serves.
well, it serves those who are law abiding mostly, and maybe only have one OUI, and maybe one felony from another state. Did he have just one felony? Anyway, it doesn't
I
matter.
believe it was just the one, yeah.
Yeah. So the thought is to get him to apply for grants and what was the other thing? God, I can't remember. But I was gonna have him write
Well, that was a
essays.
stipend.
I was gonna have him write essays and poems, and and the thought was,
Yeah, because it was job training.
yeah, that's right.
It was job training, and there was a monthly stipend as well, and he can increase that stipend by completing surveys,
Right.
writing poems, essays, things along the finer art side, because it shows a different side of mental growth that we're really excited to learn about. Because what we're seeing is that maybe the way that they've been treating people for all these years, maybe we were wrong. And we'd love for you to help prove this, Mr. Armstrong.
And we're working with
Would you like
Reader's
to be a part?
Digest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're working in conjunction with Reader's
That's
Digest.
right. So I still have that one in my back pocket because somebody offered a website.
Was it to accessbuilder.com?
I was gonna build my own.
I
Remember you
don't.
got angry at me
I
because I
don't
said I was
recommend that.
gonna build
I
you.
really
I think
did.
you
I really
legitimately got
did.
angry at me because I
Yeah.
said I was
Yeah.
gonna
I was
build a
like,
website on there.
yeah, I got really bad. Don't do that.
Oh fuck. Um I forgot what I was gonna say. Um Joey Gunn says we don't have felonies in Canada. That's not
What do
true,
they
is it?
have? Hey, in Canada, don't you guys say your social security number in a series of threes, like 333, 333, 333?
Is that true?
And I say that, well, 'cause I say this because I watched a guy. He was like he was pretending he was Canadian, and they asked him what his, I don't think they called a social security number, and he gave it like, like the series that we have here, where it's 324 or whatever. and he said it like that, and so they immediately knew he wasn't Canadian, and they arrested him.
Okay, he says it's called a SIN number, and we don't. In Canada, and Peter O'Keefe says in Canada, they have round bacon. Does Wes still want to hate
They
fuck
do.
Vince? I didn't see who asked that. 9 digits in
Do I want
Canada.
to hate what?
Hate fuck? Who said that? Wait a minute. Oh, Steven said, does
Wait,
Wes
no.
still
What
want to
did
hate
you?
fuck Vince? Do you want to still, do
No,
you
I never
still,
have.
go ahead.
No, no, no. I've never wanted to have sex with Vincent. The only person who's mentioned sex with Vincent was Vincent, and it was to turn me down. It was just a preliminary. Like I started doing it now when I go places. I'll like some woman maybe pumping gas. I say, "Excuse me, miss, I will not be having sex with you tonight." And I just find it eliminates a
Just so
lot of
you know.
embarrassing situations later down the line. Yeah. Yeah, just so you know, we will not be having intercourse of any type.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Smirnoff Twisted Green Apple. For some reason, says, I want to hate fuck Kelly, just being honest. Wes, is that really your hat?
Um,
Have I, this isn't a picture of Wes that I have on the screen. I don't know.
no,
I don't
yeah,
know if
that's
they
me.
think it's. I have a picture of Perry Caravello on the on the screen.
Yeah, no, that's not me.
That's
That's
not
Perry Caravello.
that's not Wes.
That's not me. I'm a little smoother looking than that.
High TCAP recipes. Is it okay? Is it because Vincent's fat?
Get that guy out of our lives.
Get him out of our lives.
Get
He said,
that
"Is it
fucking
because
TCAP
Vincent is
recipes out of
fat?"
our lives. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not it. It's because Vincent is Vincent.
Stop,
And
stop
there's,
talking about
I mean,
fucking
like, if I
Perry.
was, if I, if I was going to be if I was going to like if I was going to pick a man, I assume it would be like an actual man and not someone who behaves like a wee child. I'm not into that form of BDSM. So no, he would. I mean, no, and Kelly, I mean, Baps, whatever you want me to call you, you've gone through the whole list of what you're into, and there's some pretty crazy shit out there, and none of those things are my cup of tea, including the one where they pour the cup of tea in your anus, which, why, Kelly? It's steaming hot. And it's just not my thing. Now, whatever Kelly likes to watch because she's so tired of watching Seattle Bareback Boys and reading copy after copy of hand jobs, I prefer much more vanilla side of things.
Aussie Jules, hi honey. He said fucking
Oh,
YouTube's
Aussie Jules.
blocking me on Wes's
Aussie
channel.
Jules. Yeah, yeah. I always have to go in and approve the comment. Like I found 4 comments at once, and I was like, oh, this, Aussie Jules probably thinks I'm denying these comments, but it was YouTube because they said things like Vince is a salty bitch and hey, fuck you, Vince. Things like that. Things along those lines.
Oh, okay.
So I put it in a video because I mean, like I'm still a really small content creator, so I enjoy that I can just do whatever in a video. So like I put it at the end of one of my videos because I just wanted Aussie Jules to know, like, hey everyone, look at these funny comments that Aussie Jules likes to make. Because to me, that's just it was just
Uh,
fun to do.
uh, Aussie Jules' comments are great. Wes is not a prince, he's a duke. Somebody asked if you were a
That's
prince or a
true.
duke.
Yeah,
I'm really
that is
enjoying the
true.
movie. How about you?
I'm gonna watch the movie again tonight because I
Yeah, I
planned
think
on
I'm going
watching
to
it and I
too.
was all excited to watch it.
I'm gonna put the
And
link in
then,
the chat
well,
again
you know who
because
I'm more disappointed in? I'm more disappointed in myself for believing that you would be able to pull this off.
you didn't believe in me.
And I
That's
didn't
what it
believe in
is.
you. No, I didn't believe in you at all.
You didn't believe in me enough.
No, you're not Tinkerbell. I don't need to believe in you for you to fucking work. I'd like you to at least once prove to me that you can do it, and then I'll believe in you.
Stupid move.
This is like that 90-day probation period that you keep asking me for. Like, that's not going to happen. Show me that you could be a good person. Show me that you're not going to call me drunk
I
every
don't want
night.
to hear fucking restrictions again.
Listen, I'm not going to come out there until you can prove to me that you can, that
Wes,
you
I'm
can go a
tired of
night
your
without
goddamn
calling me. Yo,
restrictions.
I gotta go though. I'm hanging out with the nurse tonight. That fucking nurse.
That fucking nurse. She better not touch a
Wait,
goddamn
hold on.
knee.
How come the nurse? How come the doctor can't be a woman? That was pretty sexist of me, but I just wanted to make it clear because you assumed it was a woman too.
I
You
want
assumed it was a woman when I said nurse.
to.
Why?
Mr.
No,
Mr.
let's get
Heisenberg
into that.
White
Let me,
has said, "Hey, back off Vince, guys, please." So what if he's incompetent or pathetic or a liar or a buffoon or a sad sack of
mm-hmm,
shit or a
mm-hmm,
plight on the entire
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
country of Italy worse than
mm-hmm,
Mussolini?
mm-hmm. Okay. All right. No, those are all really good points. And what I find classy is that he was able to say all those things without saying anything untrue about Vince, and
But
that's
back
what
off.
would get me so mad is all the untruths that people were saying about him. What really does irritate me is that he keeps saying I said he stole scripts, and I mean, if someone made a video about me as well put together as Baked Salmon and I did constantly about Vince, I'll probably watch them once or twice and really get a feel for what's being said and going on. I never once said that, and I know he watches my videos, so like, why doesn't he listen to my videos?
Do you think he's actually do you think he's actually watched any of your videos
He
or he
comments
just
on. He comments. Not. He doesn't comment on the videos, but when he was emailing the stranger, yesterday, the day before yesterday, he was talking about things that I said in my video. He said that I pay people to slander and lie about him, and that's not like I had protesters, and one of them was holding a sign that said Vince still sucks, but that's not slandering or lying, right?
you,
Like
yeah, you didn't even
that's
say
just true.
which Vince or
Uh, right. It's a Vince still sucks, and he's like, "Oh, I fucking suck, do I?" But like, let's be honest. You're gonna tell me that guy doesn't lay down in bed at night and go, "Man, I fucking suck." Like, it's got to be the first thing he thinks in the morning.
well, that's if you drink enough,
Allegedly.
you don't
Oh,
if you
hold
drink
on.
enough, you don't think about anything.
Well, and that's also allegedly because I can't say that. It could just be complete immature rage. I've said it, before, but to me it seemed like a bad breakup, and he looked at me as the Derek in the situation, and I needed to go down, and he used the only thing he had, which was my name from when we worked. It's all he had, and then he's like contacting my family members and shit,
Ugh.
then the whole narrative is that he was trying to get my family members to talk sense into me, and then this big elaborate lie about what happened. And he never has any proof for anything that he says. Well, I have mountains of proof, but he just keeps saying that's the narrative that I'm trying to spin. Well, then prove me wrong, and it hasn't happened.
Sue Vince for $44 million.
No, I've already got the law. So I hired the firm of Tiffany Lockhart and Associates
Ugh.
because I needed legal advice, and when I need a legal advice, I go to one place, and that's the law firm of Lockhart and Lockhart, and she has taken on my case pro bono, which means that she takes 90% of whatever I win, and she's she's going to do it. She's going to get that money for me because you guys probably think Vince doesn't have any money. But I got a text message, which this has been proven. I got an anonymous text message. It was like 4 or 5 Saturdays ago. I was following up on a tip I got about Vince, and I didn't want to make a video about something that couldn't be verified. So I contacted the person that was alleged to have gotten this information, and this person said, "No, it's not true. That we never had that conversation." So I didn't comment on it. I didn't talk about it. I did nothing with the information. But I got a text message because this person contacted Vince, and because the person was having a conversation with me, and then said, "Well, Vince said that you're a liar and can't be trusted." Okay. I
Mhm.
mean, like, what can my response be to that? You know what? Vince is right. I'm sorry I bothered you. Like, what do you expect me to say to that? Yes, Vince sees me as his enemy. And so anyway, a couple hours later, I got a text message from an anonymous New Jersey telephone number telling me to back off Vince because all of his businesses, many, many, many businesses, are a front for organized
Oh
crime, and that his uncle is in the
yeah,
mafia.
I forgot that. I forgot
Here,
about
here,
that.
I can read the text message. It said a major tip regarding Vincent. He comes from a long line of organized crime going back from his uncle Gaetano Marino, FBI number 1644357, NYPD number B-45651. Vincent's businesses are a front for organized crime. Dot dot dot. Proceed with caution. And like
Really?
so it gave me all these numbers, and I got out my decoder ring, and it didn't tell me shit. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this information. But I followed up. I said, who is this? And they never responded. So, they maybe, and here's what I'm thinking, and I don't want to sensationalize things, but maybe they were in the middle of texting me this information, and then they got whacked by a Gaetano Marino stooge.
Gay,
So this person's
Gaetano.
this person, this gay, hey, it's me, Gaetano. This
Gaetano.
person's, I was
I
like,
need a
gay.
haircut. I needed a
Check
haircut.
my FBI number.
I gave you those digits.
Is that what that is? That's a phone number, isn't it? I'm
That's my
supposed to
phone
call it. It's
number.
like you've reached Seattle Bareback Boys live, and I'm like, well, I don't hate this phone number.
It's a me, a Gaetano.
No, I did go. I mentioned Seattle Bareback Boys live when the Broadway show came out. I did go and see the off Broadway, and it was really disappointing. I
Off
thought
Broad.
they really brought the city of Seattle to life on stage, but the Bareback was so lacking in the performance because they focused on songs.
There's too much
That's my rant.
music.
That's my rant.
There's
Too
too.
much music. Too much music in Seattle Bareback Boys the musical. I really wanted to see, and if you're gonna sing, you can sing and bareback at the same time. They proved that in Seattle Bareback Boys 3.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite Seattle Bareback Boys, by the way.
Well,
Thank you for
it's
bringing that
because
up.
they did like the High School Musical thing, but it was like, remember, it was a college Glee performance, and the only way that they were going to be able to bring home the trophy was by barebacking them judges, and they didn't want to do it. But you do what you have to do to bring home the prize. That's the tagline from the box.
Raw? What's that? No rubber.
No, remember? Oh yeah, they went up against the Riverdale No Rubbers, and
That's
that was
right.
their big rivalry. You just knew they weren't
Oh
going to
my
beat the No
God.
Rubbers. The No Rubbers had won 10 years in a row, and this ragtag team of barebacked individuals was going to come in, win your hearts, and win the big trophy. Um, I actually caught that one on the Disney Channel,
The
so it
Disney
was edited.
Channel.
It was edited quite a bit. It was
Barely
edited
High
quite a
School
bit more than I would have
Musical.
liked. My favorite song was "She's Supposed to Be 13," but I thought it was kind of weird for.
Me, my mommy, and my daddy, and he had like a 5 o'clock
Yeah.
shadow.
He's actually old enough that he was playing the grizzled old coach. So
The grizzled.
you boys call that bareback. Back in my day, we barebacked harder than that, and we never used rubbers.
No rubbers.
Now you take those no rubber bastards and you shove it in their faces. Yes, sir.
Literally. Steven, I hold on, I gotta give a message to somebody. Steven, I'll check my email when I get off the off the live stream, buddy. I don't know, honey. Um get over there and you bareback like you've never barebacked before. Tears come to my eyes
Coming
when they
soon from
say
New
that.
Line Cinema. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
So
beautiful.
and
I see another.
You just know that Hollywood's going to do a remake and they're going to make a big budget. Tom Cruise will be in it, and they're going to ruin the fun and the mystique and the just gritty rawness of what made Seattle Bareback Boys into what it was.
Raw.
And that's what I fear. What? Yeah, raw.
You could have you if you made the Hollywood edition, you could have Tom Cruise. Um, who's the other one? John Travolta.
Listen. You're talking old men. I want to talk to Beefcake. Who's the Seattle Bareback Boys? I'm
Well,
thinking Cuba Gooding Jr.,
Cuba Gooding Jr.,
Antonio Sabato Jr.,
Lauren Armstrong, and Perry
Tommy
Caravella.
Tommy Lee Jr.
Seattle Bareback
Well,
Roy's.
and Lauren. Well, that could be the. Do you think you're strong enough to do it? And then Roy looks at the camera and says, "I'm armed strong enough." He chugs he chugs a couple beers, and then he's just barebacking like he's never barebacked before. I could see it like a Popeye thing, where maybe Lauren and Roy are like these very intelligent guys, but they can't bareback. But as soon as they get that sweet elixir, that one magic pill, their spinach, if you will, they turn into barebacking machines. And you got to keep them separated by a wall because they'll go at each other. They don't care.
They'll- they open open the beer. It's like do 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 do.
Yeah, right. So and you will them out. You will them out in beer barrels, and everyone's like cheering. They're just losing their shit because there's two dudes in these beer barrels, and they've got straws, and they're just slurping the beer. They open up the barrels, and they just come rolling out, and they're like their penises are literally standing up on their own, and you've got them in cages. You got to keep these guys separated in cages because, and you got to come at them one at a time, like in an old karate movie. They're not barebacking four guys at once. You come up one at a time, you take your turn, and then you just get back in line because he's not done with you.
He's not done with you until he's done with you.
What are you doing? Get back in line. He'll tell you when he's done. Yeah. So
Cornville Bareback Roy's.
now that one couldn't get funding. There was a GoFundMe for that. Actually, I want to announce a new website, BroFundMe. It's GoFundMe for Black people. I'm launching that tonight.
Oh, and happy Black History Month, by the way.
Oh, well, I'd like you to sing the traditional Black History Month song before it actually hits midnight where you are. So go on. I'm sure you know it.
Why in the world would I know it?
Wow. That's hurtful.
That is hurtful.
That's hurtful. So you don't know any Black History Month carols at all?
Let me see. Is there one like y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here?
Wow.
Is that one?
Okay, so we get 1 month to celebrate the achievement of Black people, and you want to bring up DMX. Like, we get 1 short month, and then you think that DMX, a man who was so deluded that he thought he was like a DEA agent at several times trying to storm airport security, that's the guy you want to bring up. How about Bill Cosby? You want to bring him and R. Kelly up too? Like, why would you try and hurt me on this holiest of holy days?
I'm sorry. I do have you on my live stream where we were supposed to be watching a movie, and I let you make fun of me. But we boys,
make me fun
right?
of me.
We boys.
Let's be clear. This is a favor for you, okay? A favor for you.
Having a celebrity on my live stream.
You can go ahead and scratch that one off your bucket list. You're welcome.
Guys, you have no idea the wrangling I had to do. I had to talk to his manager. I had to pay a fee to have him here. That's why I wouldn't let him go earlier when he was begging to leave.
You had to sign into my OnlyFans so I could send you penis pictures because that's a requirement as well. I'm not getting on unless you've seen it. I just feel like the process really becomes more raw that way, and we get just a much better understanding of people. Like, see me who I am, see me cool. Yeah. What's that?
Every fucking time. I do appreciate that you saved up and got that light though, so that when we talk, I can see it.
Well, I want you to be able to see it better. You know, like I could see it. I could see it great. You could see it great. But could you see it well enough?
Well enough.
You know, like are you seeing in high definition? Are you seeing it all? Are you seeing everything? When it's literally standing up, are you able to see that? Or does it maybe look like some shadow trickery is going on? Like, I don't want there to be any questions, and I'd like you to be able to share these things with people. You know, like, show them off. Make it the screensaver on your phone. Like, don't be afraid to do those things. I put production value into my stuff. You obviously
You
do
worked
not.
very hard on that. I really appreciated the green screen and all the backgrounds and the top
Well, I
hat.
wanted to make it floating through space because here's the idea. Ready? It's out of this world. Okay, so it's floating through space, right?
I like the
It's out of
cape.
this world.
I liked the little cape too.
Well, it needs the cape. It's not flying around with nothing. That would look stupid.
That would
Now
just be
stapling it
dumb.
on was a bad idea. You don't staple a cape to your penis. I can tell everyone that right now.
That would just be stupid
I,
if you didn't have a cape.
I should make most helpful tips. That was a most helpful tips from me, Wes
Oh,
Most.
I love it. Isn't there a jingle? Don't you have a fucking jingle ready?
I don't have my jingle guy. He's in the Philippines, so we're like on completely separate time zones
West
here.
most helpful tips. There you go. Oh, I get it. Get it? And tips. Get it?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
Huh?
Yeah. Good job. No, I like what you did there. You should there's a Facebook page that you could do some writing for. How are you at calling people gay? Pretty good?
Pretty good at it.
How many different ways can you call someone gay or talk about a Corvette that's not being paid
Oh
on?
my
Because if
God.
you can say more than 3, you're hired.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually going to ask you and I forgot about it. Like that seems to be, is that like the only thing he's got is that Corvette thing? Like that's all
So
he brings up.
I think the problem is Baked Salmon and I did such a good job of documenting everything early on that there was really nothing left to tell. And also at this point, Chris has become untouchable because of the work that he's doing. You know, when I first was doxxed by Vince and I'm on Twitter saying, hey, here's this video. This is why Vince doxxed me and why he took down Baked Salmon's channel. There were people contacting me saying, you need to shut up. Like, who cares? You're
Yeah.
one person. Like, you're distracting from the Onision investigation.
From the investigation.
Yeah, there were people who really felt like us saying anything at all. Like Vince should just. People were saying let them deal with it after Onision's in jail, and there were people who were arguing with us on that. So, I got to be honest, I'm a little marijuana. So what were we talking about?
Whatever it is, I'm enjoying it.
No, we were talking about something, and it was like,
okay.
Wait,
the Corvette. Like the only thing
oh
he
yeah,
posts
right.
on that Facebook is about how Chris Hansen's hiding his Corvette. Here's me, I'm Chris Hansen.
Yeah, like who cares about that? Like no one cares about that. You know, like when you look at people in the grand scheme of things, like Martin Luther King had mistresses. Oh, that's a Black History Month fact for you people.
What do you mean, you people? I don't appreciate
banging other women.
that.
How's that?
I don't appreciate.
How's that make you feel? And you heard it on the Great Baptist channel. Martin Luther King, great Black hero of civil rights. He had mistresses, and she was the one who brought it up on the last day of Black History Month.
Yeah, I brought it up.
She wanted everyone to know who Martin Luther King really was, and then she started to question if his work was even important.
Was it?
You guys all
really
heard it.
Worth it? If he cheated on his wife,
everyone heard her.
Is it really worth it?
If he cheated on his wife, are blacks really that good? I mean, that's basically what she said.
Yep, you just heard me. You just heard me say it. Is it Rutherford's?
You guys heard her say it.
He stole Chris Rutherford's. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
I am. I'm dying. You know how Rutherford had the Corvette, right?
Oh, yeah. He took James Rutherford's Corvette.
James Rutherford.
He drove off in it that night. They were like, "Hey, Chris, where are you going?" I'm just gonna ride around the block. And he never came back. And they were like, "Well, what do we do? He's making us money." They keep asking about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's at my buddy. It's at my buddy's house. I'm gonna go get the keys." And then he just keep pretending like it hasn't crossed his mind. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I'm gonna bring it back.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's right around the corner. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be right there. And then you see an Uber driving off, and Chris is leaning out the window with middle fingers going, "Fuck you! You'll never find it, you bitches!" And he's just waiting for them to all die off so we can start driving around in it, burning rubber.
Every weekend he's at the storage unit where it is, and he's just laying naked in it.
He's got a green screen behind it, and he like makes it look like he's in Italy and shit, driving through
Pretending
the
to
Alps with
drive.
the top, he's just leaning out the window. Quit flossing on Instagram, Chris Hansen.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, so I don't think that that's a good thing that he did there. I mean, taking the predators off the street was one thing, but I don't think you should be able to steal their Corvette. Or maybe they told me he could have one car. They're like, listen,
That was
you've done a great job. You've helped bring in over 300 predators. You can pick one car that we took. And he looked at Lauren's truck and he's like, I really like that white with gray on the bottom. But then he decided that the Corvette was the one he wanted.
if
It was the Corvette.
he took Lauren's truck. He'd have to get another
The
one though
what?
eventually and get when the transmission broke down.
Oh well, yeah. Well, but Chris already knew. He was like, oh, and if anything happens to it, I can just get another one and take the transmission
Just
out of it,
get
right? And they were
another
like, oh,
truck.
absolutely, absolutely.
You know, Lauren followed that. He's if you look at photos he sent, they're in the dump, but there's photos of his yard he sent to one of his catfish, and there's a broken down van in the yard, and he says, "That's my parts van. I bought that so I could replace, whatever." He had something break down. He had a deer or
I
something.
mean, you guys laugh, but it makes total sense. I used to do the same thing with $149 computers. You buy a cheap computer and you part it out and use those parts. Why wouldn't you also do it with a several $1,000 van?
Get
Like, and
my
why wouldn't
internet.
Lauren do it in the front yard of his piss-soaked yard? If you're gonna do something complicated like swapping out a transmission, I want to do it in Lauren's front yard, and I want Roy to help me.
Gorilla Spawn says, I wanted Hamburger's car. What kind of car did Hamburger have?
Didn't he drive the semi truck?
No,
No, no, no. He was driving like an old pimp car, like a
yeah, but I can't remember what kind of car
Solare
it
or
was.
some shit.
It was blue. You're gonna have to tell me, Gorilla Spawn. He bought the parts van and he bought a new pedo van. That's what Aussie said.
Well, you got to have the pedo van. I think
Pedo
that's a
van?
requirement. That's part of the mainly law-abiding program. You're gonna
mainly
get your own windowless van.
mainly law abiding.
Mainly, I
Oh,
love that.
that would
I love all the main puns.
that's gonna be amazing eventually when I actually do that, which will probably be never because I never follow through with anything. It was a Buick version of the
Mm-hmm.
Chevy Cavalier. Okay. A lot of Predators
What was that
cars
like?
are
A
owned by their
Saber?
moms. Is that
Yeah, I
true?
remember him. I remember Bass Shaman freaking out about his car, like his rims and stuff. That was funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who
Who
else
was the one that stole the work van?
the Oh God.
Do you remember that? There was someone who stole a work van because like they were. Oh, so my next video actually, because this I was gonna say like this guy stole a work van because he was so excited to go hook up with this underage girl that like he's gonna get there no matter how he's gonna get there. He'll deal with the consequences later. Um, my next video is about there was a predator a few months back who walked 351 miles to hook up with a underage teen, and that is my next video. I'm getting away from the Vince stuff for a while and doing some interesting cases of people doing crazy shit in order to commit crimes and hook up with children.
Yeah, did you have you already started that?
Yeah, and I'm actually so I'm doing that with Tiffany Lockhart. So
Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah, she's my woman now, just
She
in case anyone's
well,
wondering.
just
Uh,
just talk it's just like Ramona talking about the doctor. You just got to keep throwing Tiffany in my fucking face. But whatever. Whatever.
Am I on the verge? Because I remember you were telling
You're
me
on
earlier
the
I was on the
fucking
verge.
verge.
Oh really? Oh
Oh, really?
really?
So he walked. Are you going to have a clever song in this video?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, there's a song.
I don't want to
Actually,
ruin it.
I really want to use a song from "Are You Hustling Me, Boy." One of his songs, like I feel like would fit perfect. But if not, I'm going to there's if not, I'm having my jingle guy is actually recording as we speak. There's a cover, a little parody thing I had done with that. Who's it that made that horrible fucking song?
Oh
No,
God.
not the Rembrandts. It was not the Rembrandts. The Rembrandts did the horrible song to Friends. Anyway, it was from the movie Benny and June. But so I'm having that remade, and Tiffany also has her own little intro song. So
Yeah, tell me more
that's
about
kind of
tell me more about Tiffany, even though you know it hurts my soul. But that's okay, whatever.
well, she's a girl.
Is she a
Um,
doctor?
she's Donna Lauren. She is not a doctor. She's super intelligent though, and she's really mean. She says like some really hurtful shit on Twitter. Never in public where people can see it, but like in private, so that she can really want you to know that she had a hurtful thing to say, and not even hurtful, funny like haha, let's share in it, but like I'm going to tell you something hurtful over DM so that you can think about it all day. So there's that. There's that.
The Proclaimers, 500 miles. Thank you, Aussie.
That's it. Yes, that's
Thank
it,
you.
Aussie.
And David,
But yeah, so I'm having that.
hold on one second. David, I
What?
do I do love you. I will send you an email when I'm finished. This was something that Wes and I planned for me to fuck up a few weeks ago. All right, go ahead, Wes. Sorry.
Yeah. No, no, please interrupt me again. That was great. I like when I'm in the middle of something and you stop to talk to some other guy. This is why we're in public. I make you look down at the ground. Because if you can't make eye contact with any men, you're not going to talk with any men. And you get on the computer and you start feeling like you can just do what you
Just
want, and
do
you can
whatever the
tell, like
fuck
you
I
can say
want
I
to do,
love you to
right?
some guy. You can say I love you. Hold on. You can say I love you to some guy while you're talking to me. While you're down there dating all these fucking cocksuckers.
All these cocksuckers. And
I
I
mean,
would walk
I deserve.
500 miles.
Yeah, I deserve a chance.
Uh,
Just
well,
so everyone knows.
that's initially how we started talking because you just kept fucking emailing me that you deserved a chance.
I deserve a chance.
I deserve a
And
chance.
I didn't call you a whore in 2 weeks, and you said that that was enough. I didn't call you a whore for 2 weeks, and that's enough to prove that I love you. Like,
You-
what don't you understand about that?
yeah, it's actually
What don't you
been
understand?
it's been 10 days since you've called me a whore. And I appreciate
It has been.
that.
I mark each day. I have a little calendar like 10 days since the last incident. I have one, and it says 10 days since the last time you called Baps a whore. And every day I pull one down.
I mean,
And
you've
I'm really proud
texted
of
it to
myself when I
me.
get to those double digits. And then you do something. But here's the problem: I always get to like 10 or 11, and then you do something to make me call you a whore. And I think you do it on purpose
I
because
never told
secretly
you not. I never told you not
when I
to
feel
be
like a
fair.
failure. Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah, you don't. And it's like you don't remind me. And also, every time I get to 10 days, how about we have a little party? Remind me of how good I'm doing, not calling you a whore.
I didn't.
Um,
Hey, so what if my friend saved a woman and her baby? You helped that guy, Bert, with his hay, and I didn't give you any fucking props
yeah,
for that, Wes. I'm really sorry
you didn't
about
give me
that.
any. I hadn't. Even, and here's the fucked up part. I hadn't even told you about it yet. But you didn't. You knew I wasn't available from 4 to 6 p.m. So you should have assumed I was doing something to help somebody.
You were either
But you didn't even
donating to
ask.
St. Jude or you were helping somebody with hay. And I'm sorry I didn't give you props for
Yeah,
that.
you didn't give me any props for it. You're so busy talking about someone bringing fucking life into the world. This world's not so great. That hay, those horses are gonna eat that hay.
Horses. Oh, you just wanted to bring up horse stink again, didn't you?
Oh, just had to bring it up.
Had to bring up
Yeah.
horse stink. Wes Most could give
You
his
see where my
10-day
mind is
didn't call
tonight.
her a cunt chip to his parole officer. You get a 10-day.
What was that?
Wes Most could give his 10-day didn't call her a cunt chip to his parole officer. You know, like Lauren gave his AA
No,
1-day chip.
wearing I'm wearing it as a necklace right now because I feel like it makes me feel powerful if I can do anything. If I can go 10 days without calling out be a cunt. I can do anything. I can turn a trailer into a $60 million house with marble
Oh,
floors and walk-in
oh my
closets
God.
because I was able to talk to you and deal with you and like this technical stuff and not call you any names.
And
And
all
that's
my
something that I should
nonsense
really be proud of. And
and all the stupid things I
I
do.
celebrate. Well, I mean, like all your, all the things you do that you think are so cunning. You're cahooting with certain people. The way you'll go to the doctor knowing that he has a raging hard on the whole time and let him touch your knee just because you had some surgery done. Like, and I'm able to do it. I call you name. I drink. You calm me down, right? Because that's part of what I need. And then the next day I didn't even know what happened because I was drunk. And you can't get mad at me for something. You can't get mad at Mr. Hyde for something that Dr. Jekyll did because
Well,
they're
that's true. If you're
unaware of each other's
drunk, it
existence.
doesn't count. So
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
it's
Those things don't
60
count when you're
million.
drunk.
I love that when he says, well, we can turn it into a $60 million house.
Yeah, no, I love that because
He's
that's a lot of people don't know, but most mega mansions start off built around a trailer.
a
They
trailer
first they start with the trailer, and that's the foundation, and then they build out from there.
with holes in the walls and
Yeah, well, that's you want that because it helps with the foundation settling and like earthquake
Oh, I
support
didn't
and
know
stuff.
that.
So
Okay.
the holes are all strategically. Yeah, well, you don't know a lot of things about construction. You're a girl,
I'm a girl.
but yeah. So the holes are the holes.
I don't know much about construction stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, because the first thing they do is bring in a lull, and you bring one lull, one trailer, and then you start building your mega mansion from there, and then soon it's a $60 million home.
It's just a it's just a dump. It's just a dump. He's so goddamn stupid.
What?
I'm sorry. I know that's obvious. I love that he legitimately, well, he was a little drunk. I'll give him that. And sometimes that doesn't count.
Which time?
But
Oh, that
he
one time? Yeah, I remember.
that one time he was drunk. I know it's unusual.
Yeah,
But he really
yeah,
you got to understand. I don't have $60 million, but I'm going to build you a house that's worth
yeah.
60
I mean,
million.
if it was a Disney movie, that would be where the song would start, where he talks about how he's going to build our house, but it's a metaphorical house because the house will be a piece of shit. But the house of love that they build will be the grandest thing the world has ever seen. Like, our love will touch the mountains, right? Silk curtain fountains, and she'd be like singing about all the other things that they were gonna have,
What was the
and
musical
but
we were
they'd
going to
still be
write
sitting
too?
in this shithole trailer.
What was the
What?
musical we were going to write too? Now I can't remember that. We were going to write a
Oh,
musical.
about it was about the guy. It was about the guy walking
Oh
351
yeah, that's
miles
right.
to meet the teenage girl, and it was going to be like a romantic comedy type thing where he's walking across the country and encountering all these different people, and then he comes to the hobo camp and he has
That's
nothing
right.
to bring but the gift of song, and he sings a song about his teenage girl that's waiting for him, and at the end they all they give him cans of beans and the shoes off their feet and everything. And I'm like, well, what are you doing here, buddy? You've got a 13-year-old waiting for you.
And a train comes by and he hops on and he's
and
hanging
he's
off and
gone.
waving.
He reaches his hand up. He's waving his hand with his fingerless gloves, and he just reaches up, and the train takes him off. And
Goodbye.
they're like, "That's
Goodbye.
one lucky son of a bitch. Good luck with your underage girlfriend." Yeah, no, it would be
But you
perfect. Like I think that would. I don't think there's enough musicals about predators walking 351 miles to meet up with undercover cops.
there
I think
definitely
that's
aren't enough
a
about
genre that's
statutory
really
rape.
lacking. There's so many there's so many remakes and reboots these days, but where are the musicals about pedophiles? Where are those? Exactly. Exactly.
But you chose to do it with Tiffany. But whatever. That's cool. That's all right. Whatever.
Well, here's the thing. When I ask Tiffany to get something done, she does it. When I
Ouch.
ask the Great Batsby to do something, it might happen.
I knew this was going to happen.
so, so you and I have another project that we're working on, which is much grander. This is a new series, and there's one specific part of it that I feel like Tiffany is well suited for. So I asked her to be a regular part of this series that I'm doing. It's the deep dives, and I'm trying to keep each video around like 13, 14 minutes so that they're not ridiculous long videos, because then I'll be able to make them more often.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest issues. I'll start writing a script and it's 4,000, like literally 4,000 words, and that's it's a long video. It's a lot of editing, and it takes forever. So if I can make them shorter, then hopefully I can make them more often.
Well, I
And then
think
you just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great. I don't want you to change a
that
thing.
doesn't sound patronizing at all.
No, I'm being dead serious. I mean, I think part of the charm of coming to a Baps B stream is there might be a stream, or there might just be you talking about how you're sorry that there was no stream. And when you really step back and look at it, it's almost like performance art. You're like a Banksy. Like, is it art? Is it trolling you? Are we all trolling together? It just opens up all these different layers of what's going on. Who's the performer? Who's the clown? Who's the ringmaster? And it all points back to you, and just really not knowing what you're doing or caring about people
Not really
and what
caring
they choose
about
to do
their
with their time.
enjoyment or their viewing
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah, no, 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 no. You're much. It's to you. It's like this is a Batsby original, and you're gonna get what you get. And at the end, you might tear it up to shreds and throw it in the trash, or you might hang it in a gallery and sell it for $10 million. But you're
You're
part of the
such an
process right now.
asshole,
You're
Wes.
part of the puzzle.
You're such an asshole.
I'm really giving you compliments here. I'm telling you I like what you're doing. I like the avant-gardeness of it, and the rawness, and the just rushed, thrown together, fucking who gives any
who,
fucks at all
who
way it's
cares about their
packaged. And
audience?
it's like finding a filet mignon wrapped in a baby diaper, covered in puke.
Wow.
And like,
Wes,
yes, there is a filet mignon in there.
you're on the verge, Wes. You're on the fucking verge.
Hold on. Well, who doesn't like filet mignon? So, right,
Oh,
like when it really comes down to it,
Wes is
I'm
being
saying we all
honest.
love steak, and that's the whole point of the
Now
stream
you're
was we all love steak.
disrespecting me.
Why? Well, how come I'm never sticking up for you, or whatever the fuck you
Oh, yeah. Why are you always sticking up for Tiffany? Why are you protecting her?
said? Well,
What's so special?
here's the thing. When I was in the hospital with those painful kidney stones, Tiffany sent me some heart-shaped balloons, and I didn't want to tell you about it,
You
but it was
motherfucker.
kind of clear what that meant.
You,
She's my woman
I'm
now.
calling her
Yeah.
tonight.
Well, she should just pop up on the phone, because that's how it always works. All of a sudden, they're just on the phone, and Lauren doesn't question it. Like, is that how he thinks phones work? Like, people just pop up on it?
Are you on speaker?
Like
Are
it's
you on speaker?
I think he thinks that there's still like a switchboard operator, and she's just patching people through.
Yeah.
So like, crestfallen calls, she's like, operator, and he's like, yes, can you please patch me into the Armstrong Ember phone call? Yes,
Yeah.
sir. And then she just pops him in, and he's like, hello?
He's never questioned that. That's a really good point. He never
No,
questions
he
that
hasn't.
whoever
Like,
he's talking
how
about.
do people just pop up?
Yeah, they're just there. Like, she's talking shit about Dan, and all of a sudden Dan's just there, you know?
And all of a sudden, Dan's just like, hello, and it's always like he was called, and so he's saying like, hello, like like you're answering the phone. But how did he just pop up saying hello when this person was talking the entire time? And he doesn't question it. Doesn't matter. That's how phones work, as far as he knows. Like, this is why I'm so sad that Lauren can't be on Twitter or Instagram. Could you imagine his Twitter and Instagram?
The things
Like,
that he would the things that he would come out with would be so
his
beautiful.
DMs would constantly be getting released, because he would be saying the most inappropriate things. He would fall for anything. He would put pictures on Instagram of himself, like, he would do the mouse face filter and stuff like that. Like, he would be that guy. He
The
would be duck
filters.
facing all over fucking Instagram.
It would be like the comment room times 1,000. Just
Yes. Well, because he would have such a much bigger platform, and he wouldn't understand that these people were trolling him. He would think like these 3,000 people really care what he has to say, and like they would be tagging celebrities and faking celebrity accounts, and
Oh my God,
he would
that would be
love it.
so amazing. Like Sylvester Stallone would follow him.
Yeah, Donald Trump, like people, and he would be like, yeah, Donald Trump is a friend. We DM sometimes and exchange off-color jokes.
Oh, that would be so amazing. I'm so
Yeah,
sad that he can't be on the internet or he won't be on the internet
yeah.
anymore.
I like, how do you? It's like this guy. There are murderers, people who committed murder the same year that he tried to sleep with Kayla. They're out on the streets living productive lives, and this guy just got out of jail again and is not allowed to use the computer. Like, has anyone served more time for not having sex before?
for not even for not even really do I mean,
He,
I don't
there
want to
wasn't even a
say
real person for him to. There wasn't even a real person for him to have sex with. So
right.
like, this guy has done
He's done all the
for
time.
not having sex with a person that doesn't exist, and because of it, he's not allowed to drink or use the internet. Like, how do you come to that conclusion unless you're just that much of a fuck up?
And he'll be back. I mean, he'll be back. That's the thing. And the sad thing is, not sad, but you know what I mean. It's things
Apologist.
that he could do something about. He went back to jail mainly for drinking. For drinking.
Yeah,
I mean, if I
yeah.
were threatened with
Something that,
prison, I'm never drinking again. I mean, that's that. You know.
well, but with addiction though, like you tell people who do meth know that the consequence is prison, and they'll keep doing it. So let's step back a little bit, Kelly. Maybe look at some of the things that we're saying, and maybe realize that addiction is sometimes stronger than those urges.
And
And
you know,
Lorne wanted to drink those 22 beers because he didn't want to look like a bitch in front of Ramona.
that's true.
That's not a
I'm
joke.
really
That's
being
so
unfair.
what it is, and I don't want people to think I'm saying that Lauren has an addiction to alcohol. I think he's addicted to being a real man, and he can't help himself.
He's addicted.
So every time he's downing those beers and calling Ramona a bitch, it's because that guy's just so much of a real man. He can't contain all of the
Well,
testosterone
you brought up a
coursing through
good
his body.
point. How it was really
Sometimes, and Basti, I don't want to be gross on your stream, but sometimes the testosterone is so much that his penis will literally stand right up on its own, like right, rigid,
look,
hard. I
it's
don't like
on its own.
you would call it. It would just stand up right up on its own, no brace, no structure of any sort, just on its own. Like,
No
wow, how does that
helicoptering.
happen? Raging testosterone. So
But you brought up a really good point. It really is Ramona's fault because she told him to drink the 22 beers and she never told him not to call her a cunt.
nope.
So it's
No, and you have to you have to set those expectations for people. Like it's like having a house guest, and and you have white bread and wheat bread, and the wheat bread's for your kids, and they shouldn't eat it, and they eat your wheat bread, and you get mad at them. You're like, hey, dude, that was my wheat bread for my kids, and they're like, well, you never told me. Well, you should have fucking known, and that's not okay. And the same thing, if like when you and I first talked, you didn't say I couldn't call you a slut or a whore
or bitch.
or
Actually,
a white bitch, specifically
that's
a white bitch.
that was sort of the
Um,
allure for me though.
and you didn't say exactly. You didn't say any of those things. So I just freely call you that because you didn't set that expectation. If you try to now, I can call shenanigans on it and appeal all the way up to the Supreme Court because you can't just go in later.
But I mean,
You
let's
can't just
face
go
it.
in later and say like, hey, I'm not really cool with you calling me a whore because we set precedent has already been set.
That's true. That would be very unfair.
Yeah.
But it's
It
sort of
would be
not my
very
fault
unfair.
because you knew when you started doing the Steve Urkel impression that there would be no way I could ever say no ever again. I mean,
Well, of course. I mean, you like what you like,
uh,
and I know what you like.
Steve Urkel. Steve Urkel,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, Steve fucking Urkel. We call him Jaleel White in my house because we don't like to typecast people by characters they played.
Jaleel White.
We call him
This
Jaleel White.
after Family Matters, he did a game show
No,
and
hold on. If you're gonna say it, you got to say it right. After Family Matters, he did a show called Grown Ups on like the WB or CW or UPN with Soil Moonfry, former star of Punky Brewster.
I was
So if
going through his filmography, sir. You didn't let
okay,
me
when
finish.
did it? So you're telling me that Grown Ups happened after the game show?
I don't know. I was going through what he
Okay, so I
did
was
after
going in
Family
order. No,
Matters.
hold on. You said after. You said after that came this,
No, no,
implying that
no,
that was the
no,
next thing
no,
he did.
no. I said after Family Matters, he did a game show.
Came yes, but that's like saying,
Oh, Christ.
after Lauren joined after Lauren got out of the Air Force, he was arrested for trying to sleep with a
Well,
underage minor in Bowling Green. You
that's
have
one
to
of the
fill
things
in.
that
No, but
happened.
you make it sound like that's exactly what happened in your timeline. I'm really unhappy with the way you're describing things. This
You're
is why
so
Tiffany's in my next video and you're sitting on the sideline.
you're so mean to me. Why are you so mean to me? You're so mean. It's okay. Steven
Are you?
says it still pisses me off that Lauren told Ramona she sounds too intelligent to be black. Is that what he
Oh,
said?
so can I say that I get people say stupid shit like that to me all the time, and they think it's a compliment. People will say things like, "I know so and so," and they'll name some like random black person, and he doesn't sound anything like you. And like to assume that all people sound. People also ask me questions on behalf of black people, like, why do black people go to historically black colleges? Like, I don't know. I must have missed that at the last black people meeting. Like, there is no such thing as a. I don't know. Like, I don't know why people do anything. I only know why I do things and why Kelly does things, and that's because she likes that. Oh, I won't say it. I will not say it. Oh, so I don't. I'm not the voice of black people. Like, I don't talk like anyone else. I just talk like me, and I don't think that. I mean, there's uneducated and there's educated, but I don't think that's specifically black or white. Like, go to Florida and go to South Florida, and the black and white people can sound very much the same, and they're all very uneducated. So yeah, all right,
Well, Gorilla Spawn said Wes is definitely funny for a black guy.
yeah. Well, thank you. That's a compliment.
Thank you.
Because as you know, black people are known for the Negro spiritual, singing slave songs and of a solemn nature, and we're still trying to get those reparations. I'm waiting on 40 acres, but I don't want the mule. I'm going to put that on Craigslist. So if anyone knows anyone looking for a mule, I don't know what I would do with it. And I don't know if mule meat is good or how I would slaughter the mule. So it's just better if I
Mule
sell it.
meat.
But yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time to be funny. And Kelly, I mean, Babsy doesn't waste any time trying to be funny. She just goes straight through and does her thing. And if you laugh, you laugh, right? Wasn't that what you said? If they laugh, they laugh. If
I
not,
hate
fuck
you
off.
so much.
If not, fuck off, is what she said.
He's, you're you're such an
So guys, just so you know, if you're listening to a Babsy stream, if you laugh, you laugh. If not, fuck off.
Yep.
It's not like a clever slogan, or it's not like it
That's my.
wouldn't look good on a
Have
mug.
your
It wouldn't
jingle
look
guy.
good on a mug or a T-shirt.
Have your jingle guy sing that for me, please. You laugh, you laugh. If you don't, fuck off. Babsby.
Yeah, and yeah, that's me.
Does Wes wear a SpongeBob jacket?
It's the only jacket I own.
Every
It's the only jacket I own.
just a SpongeBob
Um,
jacket. Nothing else.
there is a very specific look that I go for, and it's one that consists of oversized khaki cargo pants and a SpongeBob jacket. I feel like there's very few classic looks. Like I have a couple. I used to have a couple polo jackets. You know, like the classic Ralph Lauren polo shirts. You know, it's a very clean look. It can look good no matter when or where you're wearing something like that. But you put on the SpongeBob jacket and pair it with some oversized khaki cargo pants, you're going to get looks from women that you've never gotten before. And they
Oh,
look
that's
like
for
pity
sure.
looks, but I realize pity could also look like horny. So I'm assuming that all these women are like pitying themselves for how horny I made them.
You know what? I'm ashamed of myself. I should have done a video featuring Malik Washington for Black History Month.
Yeah, you should have.
I
Because
apologize
here's
for
the
that.
thing. Black History Month doesn't just need to be like positive history, you know, because history is full of villains and heroes, and like
Yes.
depending on what side you're reading, they can be painted either way. He is a part of Black history, as is Loverman Genius.
Loverman Genius.
Is also a part of history because he wanted to know what channel he was going to be on. You know, while everyone else is concerned, this guy was like, so what channel am I going to be on? And he said it with like he said it with like he was waiting for the laugh track to kick in, you know, and like and he was going to hold his hands up and go, what do you do? You know,
Wah,
and
wah.
like it was it was great. Like that's where the theme song would have started for whatever the Loverman Genius show was,
Oh,
as
God
he goes
damn it.
from week to week, as he goes from week to week, getting into hijinks.
Lover,
But yeah,
Loverman
so
genius.
yeah, yes, yes, genius spelled wrong.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, so, so yeah, I really think that you missed the boat there on not doing one on both Malik Washington and Loverman Genius.
Well, if I start now, I might have something ready by next year. I might.
Yeah, no, I think so. As soon as you're done with that fan fiction that person so nicely asked you to
Since
read.
since
Meanwhile, they're like,
November.
man, there are other people. They're like looking at all these other people doing stuff, going, I bet they would do it for me. I bet they would do it for me. But no, you're busy. You're busy getting boob and lip injections because you think that's going to attract more black
Brazilian
men.
butt
That was a
lift.
joke.
Brazilian
That was a
butt
joke.
lift.
Yeah, no, I know, cause I told you that that's what black guys like. So of course you rushed out to do it, and now you got those baby fat jeans, and you
And you
got the lips
cheated on me with
did.
Tiffany anyway.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm just saying. I think it looks silly. I think it looks silly that you put your hair in cornrows, and I was joking with you. Like I think you look like I think it's a joke.
I,
But good luck.
I,
Good luck.
I, I actually have a picture. I actually have a
Are
picture of
you in
myself with
cornrows?
cornrows. I
Oh,
do.
I gotta see that.
I'll
I've got to
find
see
it.
that.
My sister does hair for a living, and I wanted to see how my hair would look in cornrows, and she did it for me.
How did it look?
It,
How did it
it
look?
actually looked pretty awesome.
You know what? Like this was your one chance to say something funny or kick in
No,
like a funny line, and you said it looked awesome.
it did
Well,
look.
way to pat yourself on the back. That's real comedy right there. You heard that, everyone? She had her hair in cornrows and she looked great. Ha ha
Don't you understand? I don't give a fuck whether anyone else is enjoying this or not. You can ride me. I just wear the condom. That was no, that was the restaurant guy, right? You can ride me. I just wear the condom. Sister or sister?
yeah, yeah.
So stupid. Was that the restaurant guy? Your house looks is decorated nice, just like
Your house
restaurant.
so big, it looked like a restaurant.
You can
That
ride
was
me. I just wear the condom.
that line. It looks like a restaurant, and she's like, yeah.
It's because he had the fishing net on the wall with the.
Yes, with like the fish in it and everything, and he feels like he's at Long John Silver's or some shit. And
Oh, it
she's
looks like
like,
restaurant.
yeah, yeah, it looks like a restaurant. Hey Chris, can you come help me out here?
Yeah, this is great.
This is this is yeah, right.
Ah, that decoy. That decoy was adorable. Nobody ever talks about that decoy. They're always talking about Casey or the other one
No,
who's like an elf.
Emily was the best decoy.
You think Casey was the best decoy?
No, I thought Emily was the best decoy.
I thought Emily was the best decoy too. She's the one that looks like a
I
little
thought she
elf,
looked
right?
the part. I thought she looked the part the best.
Yeah.
So, and with these guys, because like when I was catching those dudes, they've never seen the girl's face before, and there was a calculated reason for that. And one, I used different decoys, but and I'm not trying to be mean, but like you get guys are more interested in the mystery than in the actual thing. Like
Mhm.
if you could see a girl on a beach laying in a bikini and not look twice, but if she's wearing like a skirt over that bikini and it's riding up or like wind gusted, the guys need to stare because they weren't supposed to see that.
Mhm.
And so not using a face, it would drive these guys crazy with wonder and mystery, trying to figure out, like what's going on and what they're gonna see on the other end. And it was so easy to trick them that way because they would show up and like maybe the girl wasn't that attractive, but it didn't matter because they were finally seeing this girl in person, and they had been judged worthy because she would like all the decoy would always like, you know what, I don't want to do this, I don't think you're the right one. And so they would be like fighting to keep this opportunity to meet this person and pay for this sex. that by the time they got there, it didn't matter. I think the girl could have been like 300 pounds. It wouldn't have mattered. They felt like they had won something.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it was um like a hunt. Like they have to get their
Yeah,
prize.
yeah. So you show up now, and this little girl who maybe you thought had blonde hair, and now she has brown hair. You're willing to accept that, like, maybe you just saw it wrong. Maybe she was in the shadow, and she thought she had brown hair, but she really has no hair, or it's a boy. Whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. So you just take one for the team. But yeah, no. By the time these guys show up, they're so in a fog of everything going on and so excited about what's going on that they're willing to overlook things that obviously don't look right, like a bar with one stool.
Right.
Why does that bar have one stool?
Or how
This
about how
looks like
weird
a
it
setup.
is that at the Kentucky Sting House, there's two armchairs facing each other.
Exactly.
That
It
didn't
looks like some intense family therapy going on where the husband and
right.
wife sit and tell each other all the things they're really disappointed with each other for the day.
And
That's actually
go ahead.
kind of like what we're doing now. Um, you know, yeah, but they don't even give it a second thought because they're in the house. The girl is cute, like, and she actually exists. And now she's walking them over, to get comfortable in this chair that just happened to be facing each other.
Yeah, and I wonder if like they're only looking at like, well, all right, I'll just use Lauren as an example. Casey's wearing the short shorts. He probably wasn't looking at her top half right away. I mean,
No, I think he was, but he was just so excited that it was an actual girl, and she sounded nothing like anyone he had talked to. She looked nothing like anyone he had talked to, but I think he was just willing to accept. Well, she's a year older in those pictures, or she's a little older in those pictures, so of course
yeah.
she looks different, or the
She
lighting is different in here, or any of those things.
she had a growth spurt.
He Yeah, yeah. Like, he wasn't going to question, and why? How dare he question? Are you the same teenage girl that I was planning on having sex with from before, or a different teenage girl who also wants to have sex with me?
It's a bunch of teenage girls just come out.
That just what? And I really really wish I could hear the thought process when Chris Hansen walked out, because I almost want to believe he was like, "Is this Derek?" Like, here comes Derek in his suit, and he's taking her to the eighth grade dance, and Lauren was just a little too late, and now he'll fade into the past, like in Back to the Future, because
Derek's
him and Kayla will never kiss. Him and Kayla will never kiss the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
yeah,
You see that? Well, like 38-year-old Lord with Kayla at the eighth grade dance, and they're just like swaying in the high school gym with
like
streamers strung
arms
up,
length
and
apart like kids do. It's enchantment under the sea.
and then Lauren and Kayla finally kiss before he drives her to and from and to and from.
And then Hannah Nicole Armstrong doesn't disappear completely.
Yeah, she's playing tambourine on the stage, and she's like fading as
She
they're not
starts
kissing.
fading.
Derek gets in between the two of them and says, "Hey, who's this old guy kissing Kayla?"
And then Lauren goes back and goes, "Hey, get your damn hands off my girl."
Get your filthy fucking hands off my girl. And you go, "Wait, is this your daughter? Like, is she literally your girl?" No, she's my date.
She's my girlfriend.
And then he punches the shit out of the 13-year-old boy,
Oh my
and
god.
walks away triumphantly. I guess I taught him little brother isn't so little anymore.
But it's because it's Lauren. Derek actually beats the shit out of him.
Derek blocks it, punches him in the stomach. Lauren throws up from all the beer he drank prior to the event. And then the tambourine just drops onto the stage, and Hannah Marie Armstrong faded away to nothing.
Oh,
And
she
Lauren goes to
never to
jail.
be.
Lauren goes to jail for assaulting Derek.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Derek loses his virginity that night.
that night, and they have their own child who grows up to be a great person and do great things.
A
So
doctor.
maybe it wasn't also bad that the meth playing tambourine player disappeared.
Yeah, right. That's actually the good
Hey,
of it.
what happened to the meth addicted tambourine player you guys had earlier? You know what? She probably stepped out to buy some more meth. We're not too worried about it. She was a real piece of shit.
she, she she probably is blowing some guy in the alleyway for more meth.
Just like her dad, a real piece of shit.
And here, Derek actually has a son who grows up to be a doctor who's friends with
Uh,
Ramona.
yes, yeah, no, I love it. I think that all works out.
Oh,
It all
thank
checks
you.
out.
Oh my God. All right. So I think what maybe we can do is, I mean, we can still make this happen. We just may not be able to do it in live stream form. Um, if you want to give me another chance, I deserve another chance.
I feel like I've given you so many chances,
You
and each
have.
time you keep extending them 90 days. Um, I
I'm
say not
sick
to
of
call
your
me after
goddamn
10 p.m. You
restrictions,
call me
Wes.
after 10 p.m.
Um,
You get mad when I don't say hi to Tony and Wendy. I don't
well,
always want to say hi to Tony and Wendy.
they texted you at 3 o'clock and you didn't say hi back until 7 fucking o'clock.
I told you I was busy with Tiffany doing things that you can't know about because I want to make you jealous.
If she
Okay?
if she touched your goddamn knee, I swear to God.
um,
Mm,
yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do works for me. I mean, I'm working on a video this week, and then next week we have a new bake line coming out.
okay. And are we doing our thing next week?
What's our thing?
I know
Oh,
I know you're
oh,
very
oh!
busy.
I still haven't set a date with Toom yet. So
Okay. Because the whole
he's
point of us doing this for everybody, it's basically at this point just Wes and I having a conversation.
yeah.
But the whole point of us showing this movie, and I'll put the link in there again. If you all go watch this movie, it's really funny.
Please watch
Um,
it. Please watch it. Watch at least the first 15 minutes, and if you don't like it, Bapsy will give you $10 American.
yeah, I'll give you ten
But you
dollars.
have to prove you didn't like it by providing your own state-approved lie detector.
Yes, limestone cuff and all.
hmm Yeah, yeah. It needs to be
But
around your penis so it can measure if you're excited by the question.
the thought is, okay, we were gonna talk about this video because we were gonna do some content related to this guy, Perry Caravello. He's really ridiculous. If you like Lorne,
Yeah, I contacted his manager and we had some conversation and agreed on some rates and everything else. So I'm working out the details, but we'll be doing some content with this guy. He's amazingly bad. Like he's so unintentionally bad that he's hilarious. I'm not 100% sure how I plan on utilizing him just yet, but
he
there will be
falls
some
for
green
everything.
screen stuff fun in the future. There will be there will be all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Um, you know what the problem is, Wes? I fucking
What's that?
love you.
Oh, I knew that was an issue. No, I knew that was an issue. Um, how many shower pics can you send me without me knowing, that you fucking love me?
I
Because
sent
I
you
said one time that'll work, and that's all you needed.
I sent you 12 videos of me in the shower.
12 videos of you in
And
the
I still
shower.
remember what you said. That'll work.
That'll work. Yeah, yeah, I did say that. That's not a ringing endorsement, by the way. It's like if you get in your car, you try and start it and it barely starts, you're like, yeah, I guess that'll work. It'll get me where I need to go. It's not a ringing
Yeah,
endorsement.
that'll work. I
How was
guess.
your meal tonight, ma'am? It worked. I'm full now. Excellent, excellent, wonderful. I'll let the chef know.
That'll work. Chef! Oh, chef.
That'll work. Francisco, she said that'll work, and he's
That'll
like,
work.
oh my.
Oh, fuck. And I still remember what you said. I just imagine Lauren, like, recounting that in his mind while he's fapping. Like, that'll work, that'll work, that'll work,
That'll
that'll
work. That'll work.
work.
That'll work. That'll work. While it's not working, yeah, I could see that too. I could see that too. Or he's holding the phone with his left hand, looking at the text. It's all zoomed in, He's like, that'll work, that'll work, that'll work, that'll work. That's erotica to him.
And then
That is fine erotica to him.
that'll work.
And Roy's in the other room. What'll work? What's going on? Are we doing some work? Get out of here! Why are you in my room?
Get out of here, Mom.
Come on, Roy! It could be some little thing. That is a little thing. And he's like, oh, come on, can a guy get some privacy in his own trailer?
That is my car, you know.
That is my car, you know. Well, you can holler at me when you need me to take the trash.
The trash bucket. The trash bucket.
When you can't lift the trash bucket. Like, what? What?
You don't have a problem calling me when you need your trash bucket emptied.
Yeah, right? Like, but as soon as she wants her fucking car so she can go somewhere in case she needs to, she all of a sudden doesn't want to call Lauren up.
You know, I like when he's like, you hear the keys clicking into the ignition, you hear him starting the car and the turn signal, and he's like, well, the car's just sitting in my driveway. Click, click,
just
click.
Sitting
click.
in the driveway.
Oh, he's driving.
Yeah, right? Honk, honk. Get out of my way, you fucking bitch.
Thump, thump. Oh, goddamn kids.
He's like, oh, I'm watching TJ Hooker.
TJ.
That was TJ Hooker talking to a colored fella.
Oh God. All right. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off here because I've been doing streams and other things since 5 o'clock.
I am
Thanks for this, though.
Sincerely sorry. I truly am sorry that this did not work out the way that we had planned. I guess you and I.
I don't think there's enough stories in the world to make up for me wasting my Saturday night on this.
Oh, fuck
travesty.
you.
Wow.
You just tell me to go away? You told me to go away?
You told me to go away. You've never said those two words to me. Go away.
Go away.
Yeah. I don't think there's any more hurtful words in the English language.
Then go away.
Because there's like, fuck you. Look, I can think of lots of 2-word phrases. I'm cheating. I'm leaving. Fuck off. You're Bapsby. Like, these are all horrible things to say to someone. But then when you take into account go away, wow. Wow.
You've been spectacularly mean to me tonight, Wes.
I don't think I was. I think I was pretty fair for what I walked into. I think I was very fair. And I think if anything, you owe me an apology, and you should probably say thank you for the work that I was willing to put in tonight.
Well, I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate your time. I know you are a busy celebrity. I always I'm trying to write a
script. That's all I'm doing.
I'll have your fee in your PayPal account as soon as I get off the stream, okay?
It should have already been sent. It should have been sent before we got on the stream because it was an extra fee in case you fucked up.
You know I'm good for it because I have to pay you every time.
You're gonna send me $20 money orders like I'm fucking Betty.
Right. I have to send you a picture of me holding the money order before you talk to me.
I want to see it. I want to see it before you put it in the mail because I don't want you to claim like the last one that I got lost in the mail. Then I asked you for my address. You claimed you couldn't find it. You never wrote it down. You never wrote it down.
I actually had my lawyer do that for me. It's Krusty.
Okay, let me call your lawyer.
Baps and he does bird law.
I've heard of them. Oh yeah, they're really good. Bird law, if they're good in bird law, then that's one road I don't want to cross. Let's just say that.
All right, let's wrap this up,
buddy. Thanks for this.
Thanks for whatever this was.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll talk later.
All right.
And I'll let you know for sure once I finalize everything so that we can work, and hopefully things go just as well with that than this is.
Right. I'm really embarrassed about this. I'm just
messing with you, but I would like you to be the technical producer of that show because it's very important to me, and I'm paying like good money, so I'm putting you in charge of the technical.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna go shopping tomorrow. This is I have to have something better than this. Or you know what? I'll
And we'll
talk
be
to
all
Kayla.
done. We'll be all done. You'll be like, I didn't press record, and I'll be like,
I've done that.
Batsby.
That's Batsby. I did an hour-long show one time, and I went back to listen, and I didn't have my microphone on.
I remember that. I remember. So this is when I was listening. Back when you were posting a lot of stuff. Before you got all too involved with your looks and trying to hook a, as you call it, Nubian prince. You were doing a lot of content, and your focus was on work and this, and not on big black, as you call. I won't say the last part of that, but and I remember you doing one where you said you had done a stream and you were funny in it, and you like did all this hilarious stuff, and I mean, likely story. It's really easy to claim you were hilarious when no one was around to hear it. Because I've yet to hear any hilarity.
Thanks, friend. Thank you, friend.
I mean, if you like knock knock jokes, you'll love Batsby, and I will say that.
If you like Family
That
Circus,
not me.
not me. If you like Family Circus, you'll love Babsby.
If Jeffy is your favorite Family Circus character, then you're gonna love the Great Batsby.
Not me.
Because Jeffy can't do a live stream either. Yeah, Jeffy is technically
Jeffy.
inept, just like that.
Hey, hey, Babsby, who fucked up the live stream? Not
Not
me.
me. And then not me is running away, just clutching two wires with that, look on his face of mischief, and you're sitting there with your shoulders hunched, like, nah, I didn't do it.
they got the dotted lines through the yard while he's running, holding my.
Yeah, you need to get rid of the not me is like the Noid. Remember the Noid from
Ugh.
like Domino's Pizza? You got to avoid the Noid. That's you with technology. You've got a Noid, and you need to do something about that. You
I
should have
am.
your how old's your son? Like 10 or 11?
He's 11.
You should have him set it up. I bet he would figure it out. Yeah, no, I bet he will. And then
He
he'll like
probably
dab and
would.
walk out of the room.
He probably would.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
I'm gonna name this live stream Baspy Sucks.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Isn't that what they're all named, or do you
Yeah,
not name them by the
I'm just
subject?
gonna I'm gonna change the name of the channel. I
Oh,
suck.
okay. No, that's a good one. That's me
Baspy
sucks. You'll
Sucks.
probably get a lot more subscribers, and they'll be really disappointed when they listen to the content.
Yeah, when it's not actually.
ASMR, just 10 minutes of you sucking on various things.
They're like, this is false advertising.
Cold, cold dill pickle, and you just suck on the pickle. I bet you would probably see like double subscribers overnight.
I'm going.
Warm dill pickle. Yeah, I love it. I think it's really good.
I think I got a real future in this field.
Yeah, Baspy sucks. That's be at least your second channel, because you won't be able to get monetized on that one. But this one will be monetized in no time.
Oh fuck.
You just got to talk
Well,
about Lauren a
I'm
little bit
putting that
more.
other channel on Pornhub.
Baspy sucks. And we
Oh,
can all send you different things to suck. Like it could be a community thing, and you
oh
could
yeah,
raise
because I
money that
certainly,
way.
certainly want to suck on things that are sent to me in the mail.
Well, they'll have to promise that it's never been anywhere that it
Yeah,
shouldn't have
I
been before.
promise this has never been in my
And
anus.
yeah, right. And I can promise you that. Now you can't look at my fingers to make sure I'm not crossing them, but I promise you this has not been in my or anyone else's anus. Yeah. I like the idea. I think it sounds like a winner of a show.
Oh,
You might get the Hulu if you start doing something
do you
like
know?
that.
Do you know? I might need some help technologically wise. Do you know anybody that maybe does websites or?
Yeah, I actually know this site is called excessbuilder.com. Now, hold on, 'cause I'm about to blow your mind. Imagine a place, a website where you can build a website Now slow down, Beth, because you're
What?
probably saying, what is this, the future? What if I told you the future was here and it's called excessbuilder.com? You see, Beth, on excessbuilder.com, they use forward thinking technology that allows you to build a website that looks like it was built in 1999, only you're building it in 2020. Now you're probably saying, a website that looks like it was built in 1999 but built in 2020, is this free? No, no, no. Slow down, Kelly, because I'm going to ask you for some money for it. But before we get to that, let's get to this. Now, we all know that about 65% of all searches are done by mobile phone, right?
Sure.
Holy shit, you're about this. Of course you do. Now, what if I told you that this website won't open in most mobile browsers? You'd probably say, well, isn't that going to hurt my business? Well, of course it's not. Shut the fuck up. Now, Kelly, how much would you expect to pay for a service where there's a website that could be used 3 out of 10 times, which, by the way, 3 out of 10 times is a success ratio for your website, for your live streams. Now, how much would you expect to pay for something like this? Go ahead and throw out a number.
$10,000?
Well, I'm going to charge you a whole lot less than that. I'm
What?
going to charge you just a low, low price of $40 per month. And you're probably saying $40 a month, that's an absolute steal. Well, it is because I paid $40 for the software total.
What?
Yeah.
I was
No
ready to
way.
pay $10,000.
I'll take your money. I will absolutely take your money, but it's $40 a month.
$40 a month. Amazing. Where can I
Yeah.
get this amazing service, Wes?
Well, you can find this at excessbuilder.com. That's excessbuilder.com. One more time, because you're a little slow, you can build a brand new website in 2020 that looks like it was built in 1999 on excessbuilder.com.
Excess. It's the X. What's the excess stand for, Wes?
Extra stupid.
Will it work with my drive-through worker's earpiece?
Yes. Yes, it will.
I think I'm getting a headache from laughing so hard.
And if you like contact us pages, we have over 3 different styles to choose from. There's blue, there's red, and there's red.
There's
So
a contact us page?
there's a
Wow.
contact us page, there's an about us page, there's a home page, and that's it. If you need any more pages than that, your website is going to fail. People don't want to read all that. Stop trying to be better than people.
Can I do now? Listen, there's this new thing called e-commerce.
You don't
Can
want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. That's probably the worst thing that you can do. So no, you can't do that.
I thought I could maybe sell things online with my website.
You could, if you want to get robbed and beaten by Somalian pirates, go right ahead. But I'm telling you,
They come into my living
there's
room.
a there's a reason why Excess Builder doesn't offer that. It's because your personal safety. You'll thank me later.
The mob. The mob comes and
Yeah,
gets me.
the mob comes and gets you. It's all a front. Every website built on Excess Builder is a front for organized crime. So it is in the terms of service. So by clicking accept, you're accepting your portion, any portion of money that you make. Some of it will be going to the Gaetano Marino
The
family.
views,
FBI file
the views of Westmost,
1644357.
the views of Westmost are not necessarily the views of the Great Bapsby.
Oh no, they absolutely
In
are.
case the
So
mob tries to
everyone, this
come and
happened
kill
on
me.
Baptist's channel. I'm
It's
just
all,
reading the script that I was provided for the live read
I
for
wrote
Excess
this whole
Builder.
script.
This I'm not getting paid for this, and you didn't even say like this was a live read. Also, let me just finish it off. If you need a website and it needs to look like shit, look no further than excessbuilder.com. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry to be a disappointment to you, just like I was with my parents. I
Mm.
hope we can I hope we can continue to work together in the future.
Well, can I just say that I think it's ironic that the first time you disappointed them, it's because you brought home a black guy, and now you're just disappointing black men in general. So
I
it's like
brought
the circle of
it
life.
is. I brought it
Um,
full circle, and I appreciate
yeah.
that. Well,
You
happy
knew better
Black
than to bring
History Month is
Tyrone. You
over.
knew better than to bring Tyrone home. Tyrone had just served a tour of duty with Lauren Armstrong. They were best friends. You knew he wasn't going to be appropriate.
Um,
Anyway, sorry about that.
we it's okay. Um, all right, we'll talk later. We'll talk later about this. I appreciate everybody that's hung in there with me. I love you. We're
Yeah,
gonna
you
go
have some
ahead.
very loyal fans. You have some
I
awesome
do.
fans that stick
I
around for
really
this
do. They put up
bullshit.
with a lot of shit from me, and I'll tell you what, I really do. I really do appreciate. They are so kind and so wonderful. I don't get the hate like you do.
Yeah, well, lucky you. And
Except
just
for
so you
from
know,
you.
I am a fan of yours. Like I know I mess with you a lot, but there was a reason I reached out to you to work with you, and it's because I felt like your work was so low quality, not low quality, like it's high quality, but it's so like what am I saying? You're the Three Stooges. You're throwing cream pies in people's faces and twisting noses with pliers, and I'm a much more cerebral person. So I felt like it was a good way for me to showcase my talents and be better than you. Is that a nice
It's
thing
sort
to
of
say?
like it's sort of like when girls go out and they bring a fat, ugly friend so that they look
Yes.
prettier.
Okay. You want it's like keeping Vince's face on the live stream because it makes Chris Hansen look younger and more handsome.
Yeah, right.
Right? Do you not think that's what it was? Like
I,
I'm gonna put.
I thought you believed in me, Wes.
I wanted not you.
Oh,
Um,
fuck.
I wanted not you.
You wanted
Okay.
not me. You wanted not
Yeah.
me. Fuck you.
You remember that. You remember that, right? You
I
wanted
do. I
you,
do. You
you didn't
wanted
want me.
not
You
me.
wanted not me. I
And
like that line.
and the
Sounds like an
cartoon.
Ariana. It sounds like an Ariana Grande line.
You want I'm gonna write
Um,
that song 6 years from now.
yeah. You'll write it as soon as you're done. As soon as you're done with the fan fiction and that little scrappy episode that you've been
uh
storyboarding since October.
I'm more an idea guy.
Yeah, I'm more of a big picture guy. I just make the boom, bang, 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 boom, and then you guys put it in the action.
You guys put it together for me. Why do you think I like always say things like, "Man, I'd love to see a picture of Lauren doing this," and somebody will
And
draw
then
it
someone
or
provides it to you.
and
But this is it just enables you because you're like, boy, I would love to see a brand new computer show up at my house tomorrow morning, and then it just shows up on your doorstep so that you
oh,
can
that would be
disappoint more
great.
people because you refuse to pay for the $20 internet. You want the $14 internet.
Listen,
Hey, maybe you should try paying for your own Wi-Fi and stop stealing it from the Starbucks next door.
they only have dial up in my area.
You got pedo cable. Is that why it's slow? Because it has to run through your parole officer's
Yeah,
server
I have
before it's
to
able
have
to
the
get
monitor.
uploaded?
I can't get
Oh,
the
I didn't. I mean,
faster internet because I have to
all
pay
you
for the
had to do was
monitor.
tell me. All you had to do was tell me because it's hooked up to a monitor, and there's a breathalyzer thing right next to it. So, like all that bandwidth is getting sucked up.
Every 5 minutes on the computer, I have to blow into this tube.
And if you're too drunk, it shuts down Twitter. Like you can't send email.
That's shit like that for your phone.
Well, I know someone who
uh,
could use a breathalyzer on Twitter.
yeah.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Hey, but thank you so much. This was wonderful and everything I hoped it would be.
It's I had a good time. I will say that. It's never a disappointment talking with you. I always enjoy talking with you.
Hey, can I ask you a question? The last time you spent a Saturday night with a sexy black man and didn't have a good time?
Well, last weekend.
Exactly. That's because that was not a sexy black man. That was a pizza man that you wouldn't let
I
leave,
wouldn't
and
let him
you
leave my
repeatedly asked
house.
to go.
Please, ma'am.
There was you called the police. You're like, there's a strange black man clawing at my door all night, and they're like, what are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna let him out. And so I mean that's fine, but it is kidnapping. So I get it.
Well, I mean, that's why I have to have the monitor and but anyway.
Get into the black life because you keep going to blackplanet.com and inviting strange men over to your house. Who about this new Brazilian booty, huh?
They're like, why is one cheek bigger than the other one? I couldn't afford I couldn't afford a real doctor.
Cause I got it done in the van, motherfucker. Are you gonna come fill the left side, or do I need to find another black man on blackplanet.com? And I think, I mean, it's cool that you want to change your name, but I think Kaliqua is kind of odd. It's on the nose. It's
Caliqua.
on. I don't think Kaliqua is a good black person name. It just sounds made up.
Caliqua. All right,
You
Wes.
gonna come through? Are you gonna come through Kaliqua's black Brazilian booty?
You gonna come pump this black Brazilian booty or what? Ma'am, you're not even black. You're not even black, ma'am. Why do you
Uh,
keep doing this?
this, this, oh, this ass beg to differ.
This cheek.
You don't see my cornrows?
This cheek begs to differ.
This
Oh God, I
one
cannot
cheek,
wait to find
and
that
in
picture. I
and
can't
in
wait to
the
find
two
that
and in two
picture.
weeks and in 2 weeks this other cheek. So I'm gonna hit you up later too.
Laquanda. Somebody said Laquanda. That's gonna be it.
That works too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laquanda works too.
All right, everybody. We're gonna wrap this up. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna say goodnight to everyone, and then Wes, if can you hang in there for just a minute?
So you can yell at me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
yell at
how I
you.
treat you in front of people. What are you doing to us?
Why are you doing this to us, Wes? All right,
Yeah.
everybody. I love you. Bye, sweethearts. So, come on, log out.